I'm looking. I'm looking.
Well, hello, Vietnam. Oh wait, what time is it? Oh, that's right. Anyway, welcome to another Darachat. Wow, what's the wrong show? Was that the wrong show today? But anyway, welcome to Darachat. My name is Daramouthe, or Dara for short, because some people, um, they still say Daramouthe, and those are wrong words. Kids, today we're gonna learn something. It's called wrong words. And when there's a silent E at the end of something, you kind of want to pay attention to that a little bit. Somebody didn't. Some people went to kindergarten. Some people didn't. I understand, but we can all get along there. but anyway, you can call me Dare. That's fine too. And of course, I'm with a legend in his own right. But I don't see any donuts. Joe Donut.
Mr. Daramouthe, how are you today?
Let me tell you about the stories of my people, Daramouthe. I have come from a far castle. It is mine. I claim it.
You sound like Nacho Libre. Like you've seen that movie, right? Nacho.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh, man,
Nacho Libre. Yes, I've seen that movie.
Oh man, that's awesome. Thank you for having me on, man. It's so good to be here. It is 8 a.m. in the morning right now, so please excuse me. I might be a little bit slow. I might be. My hair looks like
Frizzy.
I don't know. Yeah.
Who's
I
Frizzy?
try to doll myself up for you, but this is what you get. I hope you're happy with it.
Wait,
It's
so
so funny.
you're wearing makeup too? Oh my gosh.
The whole 9 yards, buddy. The whole 9 yards. Like I had a manicure, pedicure,
Oh,
everything done for this.
okay. Just
So
no, just calm it down. Just calm it down. Okay, so you're
thank
about so that
you.
means you're about 11 hours ahead of my time because
Yes,
it's 7
sir.
it's 7 p.m. where I'm at.
Yeah,
So,
with daylight savings time, it's usually like straight. Like if you're at 8 p.m.,
mm,
I'm 8 a.m. But with
mm,
daylight savings time, it's an extra hour. But I just want to say thank you so much for this opportunity. It's great
yeah,
to be here. I'm looking
mhm,
forward to having a chat with you.
mm.
I've did a lot of kind of study on your videos just to kind of see what I'm getting myself into here. And the first thing, just to bring it back to your name, the first thing that I had to do when we started kind of communicating
uh,
was learn how to say your name because I was like, Dara. So I just had to go, and thank God you do like the little you
yeah,
explain to people how to pronounce it at the very start of your
pronunciation.
videos. So yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So yeah,
I'm not doing correct technically correct because they have like the soups or the lines and stuff. I'm
mm,
not doing that. But I would think people know what the word dare, and then you have the moose part. But
yeah,
sometimes I'm surprised people could still read it all. All right, that's what
yeah,
I'm gonna say. Then we have
yeah.
we have a
The
situation called the illiterate literate or however you want to go
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, yeah.
So
No, the mooth part is the part that's the stick in the spokes of the bicycle that
mm,
sends the ass over the head, kind of like. But no, we got it. We got it.
yeah.
I was giggling to myself that we were gonna start this, and I'm gonna go Daramouthe just from the start. But there we go.
Then
Anyway,
then I came in with my El Español. Porque
I'm trying
um
to learn Spanish right now, actually. But I keep forgetting my wife is Mexican American, so
oh really?
she cusses out the cats in Spanish, so I pick up some words there. But like every time she teaches me Spanish, it's like I forget. Like she would repeat the sentence 5 times, I would repeat it 5 times, and then I would go,
Yeah,
okay, got it, and then
yeah, yeah.
it's out the ear. I don't know. It's like with any other language. I speak 3 languages, but
Okay.
with Spanish, it's just so difficult for me. I don't know why.
You
It's
have
just,
to
I
be
can't.
you have to be like the soap operas. You have to be dramatic. Oh no! What?
Gotcha, gotcha. I just started making up my own words in Spanish, like la la papate or something like that, and I just walk around the house speaking fake Spanish to the cats, and she wants to lose her mind.
That's when your wife says El puto, and you're just like
Oh,
ah.
that word gets thrown around a lot, but it's just like and no negativity behind it. It's just that's basically one of the only words I know. So like every time I open the fridge, I go, oh puto,
Well,
it's like
yeah, and it's a funny thing with like Americans, right? We sort of take different words and we absorb them to some degree, but they're not said correctly, like s'il vous plaît, oui, oui,
hmm,
and sort of stuff like that. But it's very surface level, right? Even for
yeah,
it's very surface level. Hey, look at that. But even then, it's very surface level, like hola, and then people say me como está, that sort of thing, and
yeah, yes.
then you have that from there. It's a
Yeah,
weird
I
thing.
get
It's a
it.
weird thing.
But it's like something I've learned with language is like you have to you have to for me personally learning a language is like you have to be submerged in the language. Like if you like I'm an expat, so like
Mhm.
if you live in a community or an area where the language is predominantly spoken, it's easier to pick it up. It's like so
Yeah.
easy like that.
Mm.
But when you're trying to like me myself if I'm trying to learn it off of an app or whatever
Mm.
then it's like so difficult. I think with my Spanish I tried it on an app once and I think I'm gonna try it here. I'm gonna use your space as a review real quick for
Right.
my Spanish. It's like Juan Gomez manzanas, like Juan eats apples, and that's it. So I hope if I ever go to a Spanish speaking country and I get into trouble, like the fact that Juan eats apples would get me out of trouble. Like that's it.
He
That's it.
he doesn't understand the language. Just get him out. Just put him over the fence. It's okay. Well, and there's
he's
another.
he's shouting "Kitate" in the corner there for no reason. So
El Bandito. He has serious issues. Don't worry. There's a show
Exactly.
in America that we have. It's called King of the Hill, and
Oh
the
yeah, I know.
yeah,
I know
and
King of the Hill.
Peggy Hill is sort of a Spanish teacher, but she doesn't get it always right. But
Okay.
that's where I learned a bit of Spanish. There's like, yo soy Peggy Hill, yeah, stuff like that.
Ah, okay. That's
Yeah,
like you are. Is that correct? You are
I
Peggy
don't
Hill's
know.
wife.
It's just something I learned.
All right. Well, we're both in the same boat then, Mr. Dara. We're both in the same. Hopefully, we don't end up in Mexico together, you and I, because that's gonna be trouble.
he's he's coming for the muchachos. Just gonna be a word as we go along. People might be like, I don't think that's a word, but he's trying real hard. Look at him. He's almost red with trying to say the word.
Exactly.
Oh goodness. But
Anyway,
no,
so
I tried to learn I did learn some Japanese, but I tried to learn Japanese through
Mhm.
many different apps. So there was Pimsleur, I tried
Mhm.
Pimsleur.
Yeah.
Duolingo is a popular one.
That's the
Um,
one I was on. Yeah.
mm. I've heard some
It's
people say it's not the best, but
it's weird though because it's like when you learn language, you try to learn like stuff. You have to find a balance with it. I think.
mm,
Like you have to find stuff that like vocab and sentence and grammar structure that you use every day, like or you could use every day or every
mm,
other day.
yeah.
So when I'm on Duolingo or something and it teaches me, like I get it, it teaches you about the nouns and the verbs and the pronouns and all of that stuff. But it's like when they start teaching you about somebody eating apples, it's like I'm not going to walk around going, he's eating apples. It's like I think if it's stuff that you could use in your daily life, like vocab, I think like learning language for me, like
Mm,
when you start like vocab, when
mm,
you start learning vocabulary words, like, and then after the fact, pick up the grammar
yeah.
structure and that. But if you try to start off like 20% grammar, 20% vocab at the same time, it's just so difficult. Like
Yeah.
even if you end up speaking the language, like if you end up speaking broken Spanish or
Mm,
broken whatever language, it's better than being overwhelmed and just
yeah.
quitting. So like that's how I started speaking like some languages is by vocabulary words, walking around, pointing at something and going, that. And then the
Mm,
people understand what I'm talking about. So, and like with that, your confidence grows and your
mm,
mind starts kind of, your brain starts softening to the language because
yeah.
your brain is like an old, chestnut. When you
Mm.
bang it, nothing happens, but you have to soak it for a little bit. Um, but yeah,
Don't
anyway,
don't bang your head, please. Don't bang your head.
man, like I'm a streamer, dude. You know how many times I've banged my head? Like that's part of what we do is banging our head. But
Oh
I
goodness.
just want to ask you real quick, like the
Yeah.
Daramouthe, or like if you don't mind me asking,
Sure.
like what is like is that just a handle or is it like an actual like family name or and where does it come from? Like where did you
It's
get it?
it
What's
well,
the origins or the
it's a
history?
made up one, first off.
Okay.
So going back to the sort of the beginning of it, first off, I was trying to make up something because, back in the day, like playing games like RuneScape or whatever, you could make up a name, but you could try to
Mm,
make up a name and someone could have already taken it. And so they got the whole name, and now you have to add a number to the end of it, right? So I was
yes.
trying to make up something that was I didn't have to add a number at the end of it. Otherwise it'd just be a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
But
Gotcha.
um but but after that it sort of was just the word I don't drink, but the word vermouth is where Daramouthe comes from.
Okay.
Of
Okay.
course, if anyone doesn't know, vermouth is an alcoholic drink, but I just like the word because the word is not said as it sounds, right? It's one of
Mm,
those weird words, right? It's sort of like, you have homonyms. Homonyms are pair, pair, that sort of thing.
mm.
So it's sort of that word nuisance that you just sort of, it just attracts you, like, okay, so that just sounds weird. And so because I wanted something that didn't require a number at the end of it, I decided to
Okay.
make it. And
All right.
so
Perfect.
the first iteration of that sort of thing is the one you see in my handle on Twitter X, which is Veramouth. That was the first
Okay.
iteration, right? And then Daramouthe was the second iteration. And so um that's just basically where it comes from, is a want of not having to have a number at the end of a username, but also just of a weird sounding word that inspired to kind of traverse and trying to figure out, well, this sounds weird, let's see if we can do it elsewhere. And that's why people, I think, get mixed up, because it's like they can say vermouth pretty well, but they say my name, they're like, what ancient language are you using? Like, really?
Yeah, it's an ankle breaker. Yeah.
It does feel like that sometimes, or it's just like, I don't know how you missed that letter there, but I don't.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, honestly, like I am so bad with names though, because like especially usernames, like like in chat, with people pop in chat and then say hello, like it probably takes me longer to figure out how to pronounce their username than to actually read the message, you know. So it's like I would be sat there, like there's a guy that he pops into our streams quite often, Star Mix, but the one in the mix, the I in the mix is a one, you know. So it took me some time. I was sitting there going star M1X star, and then my squad that I usually game with, they had to go, dude, it's Star Mix, you know. So thank God for those guys. They kind of helped me out with the username. So yeah.
I thank goodness I don't have to do that either, because I didn't want to have to change a letter to a number. Because you do see, I mean, I get people do it. That's fine. But for me, it was like I wanted to have the name that didn't need the extra bit. It was true. And
I get what you mean.
Yeah, because it's kind of hard nowadays to make up a name like someone else has already taken. It's like, dang it.
Exactly right.
Pussycat 37 is already taken. Dang it!
Yeah. It's like Johnny skateboard 5672 has been taken. It's like, what are we doing with this, guys? What are we doing? I get it. But hats off to you. I see what you did with that, and I think when I look at your screen name, your username, it looks. Like I've got OCD with this type of stuff, so it looks clean. It looks there's not like crazy numbers and stuff attached to it. It looks very clean. So I get what you did with that. That's well done. Well played, sir.
I try to go for a clean look, even though I'm not always clean all the time. But yeah, no, that's just the basic story of it. Because again, it's nowadays. I mean, you can go anywhere for a username. It could already be taken. And you have to add like a number at the end, and mine's basically made up.
Yeah, well, man, I hear you with this. Like, I know this is gonna sound weird coming from a guy that spends a lot of his time online, but like usernames and like the bio part, that tell us about yourself. I hate that stuff, because it's like, I don't know, like I know myself obviously, but like if they ask me what do you like, it's like I like streaming, I like playing video games. It feels so basic. I hate stuff like that. Even the usernames, like the Joe Donuts that I have here, believe it or not, Donuts is not my legal name. So,
well, I could have figured that out. Donuts, yeah. If you're calling yourself Joe Donuts, you have an issue.
Well, you have some issues with your parents, at least. I'll tell you that much. If your family name is Donuts, but no, the same with me. Like with the username and stuff like that. I remember how I got into gaming was it's actually weird, because I've always been a gamer, but I never put like a lot of time into it. So like a couple of years, like I think like 4 or 5 years ago, I would say like 5 years ago. So I was working a full-time job, and I was running this little beef jerky business. Like in South Africa, we've got a beef jerky called biltong now. Like if it's your birthday, you eat biltong. If it's Monday, you eat biltong. If like you have no excuse, you need no excuse. You just love this stuff. Nice. So I had this company here selling. I was making and selling this beef jerky snack to other expats, and I met this guy N Express. He's a very good friend of mine. You'll always see him on my channel, me gaming with him. I met him through that, and he was placing an order, and we started talking, and we really connected. And he was like, there's this, I told him I game sometimes, and his family, his kids, his wife and himself, they're big gamers.
Right.
And he was like, there's this game called Fortnite. Do you know about it? And I was like, I heard of it. I've heard of it. Some little clips I've seen is like people building crazy structures. And I was like, I work 2 jobs basically. Yeah. Well, I work a full-time job, plus I run my own business that is part-time, but it should be full-time because the
Right.
responsibilities are full-time,
Yeah.
So like at that point I was working like 14 hours, like 14 hours a day almost, So I was like, all right, and I was like, I'm not gonna build, I'm not gonna spend all this time on, trying to figure that out. And he was like, no, but there's a no build mode. You could just run around, shoot people. And he pestered me and pestered me and pestered me. And I eventually downloaded the game, and I was stuck at the screen where it was like, create your profile.
Yeah.
So I was like, what the hell do I do here? Like,
Yeah.
do I go for like Killer Blade 69 or, like crazy stuff like that? So I was like, I'm not going to play this game a lot. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on any of this. So the first thing that popped into my head was the stand-up comedy show I watched when I was like 22, not actually live, but on YouTube. And it was it's an old stand-up clip where this guy was making fun of Italian Americans and their mafioso nicknames and stuff like that. And he was running through it. It was like Petey Potato Salad, Muscle Marinara, and then Tony Two Toes. And then the one he was like Joe Bag of Donuts. So I was sitting there and I was thinking, Joe Bag of Donuts. Just go for that, because I always found that name so funny. But then I was like, I need to shorten it to Joe Donuts because there wasn't enough characters or something like that.
Yeah.
And that name still haunts me till today. It's just stuck. And now here we are, Joe Donuts talking to Mr. Daramouthe. So that's how my name came about. It's just like a spur of the moment. Okay, just enter a quick username so we can get playing. And yeah, here we are 5 years later.
And it works. But
I hope so.
Yeah, is Biltong spelled Biltong?
Yes.
Okay, because there's a content creator named The Quartering, and he actually has a sponsor who calls himself the King of Biltong or something like that.
Alrighty.
Yeah, and or something of that measure. But he sells Biltong, right? He ships it across the arena. So when I heard that, I was like, I think there's someone on, because he stops at his The Quartering stuff. There you go. Use Viva 10. Hey. No. I'm gonna let this one slide. I'm gonna let this one.
Mr. Nero, come on now.
Yeah, I'm gonna let this one slide, Nero. But you don't put anyone else's. You don't put links in without my expressive permission. Got it? Otherwise, I'm taking it off next time. But yeah. That was when I just heard. I was like, wait a second. I've heard of Biltong before, but it's like, it's like what?
No, honestly, it's now a snack, and we South Africans, we're so proud of it. We would not shut up about it. Like how Biltong is going global now. It's like, I know it's big in the UK, it's big in the States, and we're absolutely proud of it. Like it's like beef jerky, just with like the seasoning will be different. It's like coriander, black pepper, salt. I think jerky is like more sweet, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, the Biltong is more a salty type of coriander, black pepper.
There are variances, right? There are ones with there's one spicy ones, there's black peppered ones, there's teriyaki ones, there's original, which I don't know what that is, but there's also like sausage links and all this. There's a whole wide array of different different ones. I mean, what is it? It's not Jack Daniels. Who's the Jack Links? There's one here that's very well known, beef jerky wise, but I can't remember it off my. Hold on. I'm trying to find the. Here we go. It is Jack Links. That's right.
Yeah, I've heard of that before. Actually, I think
I had to search my trash to find the name.
Gotcha.
Biltong is cured and jerky dried. Oh, okay. But yeah, there's a store near my sibling and her family live where they do sell a wide array of different stuff from around the world, Australia, all this stuff. And I imagine they might sell stuff like that. Hey, Dashboard. But yeah, I know. Well, of course, if where you're at, you're kind of lucky because you have someone who's from there who's a very well known genius. First off, and then of
Hey,
course,
we're practically related, like so.
yeah.
I,
I
you know.
don't remember you singing at those family events. Don't you try to pull that one.
Hey, I was the guy in the back messing up tongue twisters. All right, that was me.
Who'd let that dumb kid in again? Bill, get your kid out of here.
Yeah, the guy speaking the fake Spanish. Get him out.
I am so sorry. I don't know English. No, English. No English. No, it's actually,
Man,
what is it? No habla inglés is, I think, is the total.
there
Because
you go. I think so. Yeah. Well,
yeah,
you know more than I do. So
I don't
there's
don't
a,
even.
there's another Spanish sentence I'm gonna forget as soon as we're done with this. Thank you.
Yeah. No, well, there's two. There's no habla inglés and no habla español.
There
Por
you go.
favor.
Yeah. Por favor.
Muchachos Caracas or something.
You're gonna make me break out my translator here.
What he was saying, it's all BS. I think that's what he's saying. I think that's what he's saying.
You're joking, man. That stuff happens to us quite often. Like,
Yeah.
being expats and all of that. It's like you heavily rely on translator apps,
Yeah.
and then sometimes you try to have a conversation, and your eyes are locked like this on the person doing the slow nod to, and they'll do the slow nod, so you know the conversation is kind of going in the right direction.
Yeah.
And then you would hit that one sentence on the translator, and they would go. And you go, oh my god! And then you would retranslate, and it turns out like your grandmother is a chicken or something like that. And
No, stick with
yeah,
it. Stick with it.
honestly, like that is, it happens to us so often. Like it's so often, but it's
So
fun.
what?
It's part of the experience. Like
Right. If you can't have fun with it, then what's the point? But what?
exactly.
What is? I've heard that, but what is an expat exactly? Because
Expatriate, it's basically somebody that like that lives and works outside of their home country. Like so, if you spend a lot of time like actually working and living in a different country, then you are considered an expatriate, an expat. Yeah.
yeah, because I mean, because I know there was a story of a gentleman who went to live in Japan as a naturalized citizen. And in
Hmm.
order to do that, he had to give up his being an American citizen. He had to be
Yeah, yeah.
what is basically considered a traitor to the country is what I think was he described. But yeah, he's naturalized citizen in Japan. I just can't remember his name.
Yeah, yeah. Like
But
I get. Sorry,
go
on
ahead.
you go.
Oh, you're fine.
Like at some point, like it feels like people do that. Like if they really intend to like um immigrant like become like an immigrant or something like permanent stuff like,
Yeah.
or I feel like a lot of people do this for the ease of like visas and stuff like
Mhm.
that because um like a lot of these places like Thailand and stuff, like you have to go do a visa every 3 months or
Yep.
6 months depending on what visa you have, you know.
Mhm.
And people think, well, why don't you just go for the longer visa? But the qualifications that you need,
Mhm.
like some countries only take like give 1 to 3 or 5 year visas for like extremely qualified engineers or something like that. But if you're just a guy that's doing you know like a basic job, average job, um you're hired by a company, like even getting hired by a company, like a lot of these companies abroad, especially Asia, they find the loopholes. Like if they want to hire a foreigner
Mhm.
to work at their company, they have to have certain certifications, and
Yeah.
you know that the building, you know, has to be a certain size. You know, you have to go through the fire licensing,
Mhm.
all of that stuff. So to save money, a lot of these companies, they just put the foreigners on the wrong visas essentially,
Yeah.
and you end up like having to go for a visa run every 3 months. So I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of the people that just go for the citizenship, the joint citizenship or whatever, they do that for ease, you know,
Yeah.
of doing that. But for me personally, like I'm very proud of being a South African.
Mhm.
I'm very proud of my family and
Mhm.
you know, the history and all of that. But yeah, so giving up citizenship is not something I take lightly, you know.
Yeah, no, and because it's not, because I mean you're basically giving. I mean, if you move there and you're going back, then that's a different story. But if you're
Mm.
moving to some place and that was your home, that's a lot.
Oh
That's
yeah,
a
yeah,
lot, and
yeah.
it's not an easy. I would think it's not easy. It's like sort of like me if I had to give up, go to the UK or whatever. But at the end of the day, though, it is part of the. I know some places allow you to do dual citizenship, but not
Mhm.
all places.
No, no, no. Yeah, that's correct. You're absolutely right. I know the states is now. I don't know for how long, or I don't think it's always been like that. But I know we're looking at in a couple of years moving to the states
Hmm.
because my wife is from there.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
so we're looking at doing that and going through the process. Through marriage, getting a green card, and obviously doing
Mhm.
it the right way, which is
Yeah,
super important.
yeah, yeah.
Um, it's like one of those things where it's like. For the United States, you cannot have dual citizenship, I believe. But so it's like if you want to become an actual citizen with all the rights that comes with it, you have to
Mhm.
like take American citizenship. Which is and that in that sense is fine for me. Like because I have family in the United States, I've always had such a strong bond with the United States. Like
Mhm.
even culturally, like I'm a big NFL fan, Philadelphia Eagles. Fly Eagles, fly.
Okay.
Like so. I've always loved the United States. I've always been part of that culture in some way,
Mhm.
so it would feel like a natural step for me. It wouldn't feel like I'm throwing everything away, and it would be just continuing life, if you
Yeah.
understand what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's funny because I had a gentleman on who lives in Philadelphia. I think he's more for the Steelers though. But
Mm.
he lives in Philadelphia, and I had him on a while back, so it's pretty funny. But no, I know someone, another content creator. His name is the Real Tomby, and he is working on his way to move to the U.S. Him and his
Okay.
wife,
Mm.
and so there's a lot. Well, he's from the UK, so there's a lot of
Okay.
understandability there.
Yeah,
But
yeah. It's
it,
a massive process. Yeah.
yeah, well, and with the reasons why, of course, but
Oh, of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, but it's an understandability of why people want to move to another destination. But at the end of the day, though, um, you know, if you move to the only place that's left that you could move, that's worth moving to, and it
Mm.
goes down, well, the
Yeah.
Titanic didn't come back. So I'm just gonna leave you at that. Um,
Yeah. People try to go there. It didn't
yeah,
end well,
true.
but
Yeah, they.
no, I get what you mean. Like you said now, like it's something that you have to be very sure of. Like it doesn't matter
Yes.
where you go. Like if you
Mhm.
go to the States or if you move to the UK or to Japan or wherever, if you're gonna take that step to give up your citizenship, and I believe like that's why a long tedious process of immigration is a
Mhm.
good thing
Yeah.
because it allows you that time to kind of really understand the process and think, is this right for me? There's a lot of
Mhm.
time for you to back out of it at that point.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's not as easy as just like saying, okay, now I'm a beach ball, and everybody should call me a beach ball. It's not as simple as that because when 2 years down the line you realize,
Mhm.
holy shit, I'm not a beach ball. I don't want
Yeah.
to be a beach ball anymore, and then it's too late. So I think the process of immigration is super important because of like clear reasons, like the people of the country you're migrating to. You need to
Right.
keep them safe. You need to
Mhm.
make sure whoever is coming in is going to be a contributing member of the society. It's going to not just take and destroy and do
Yeah.
damage to the people
Yeah.
already there. I think it's
Mm.
very important, but also for the person migrating, I think it's like um, the process allows you time to really make sure this is what you want to do. you know
Mhm. Yeah.
so
Hey.
yeah, there you go.
But yeah, and hey, thank you. Um, but yeah, it's just I don't know. It's even trying to get a passport, right? Because the passport's what you need to go to the countries. That has its own difficulties because you have to go through
Yeah, yeah.
a wait. I think it's more of a wait process, but it's a lot less. It's a lot less measurable against saying moving to a different country. A passport's much easier, but it can
Yeah,
be if you don't behave well in other countries, you can be revoked harshly.
yeah,
So,
yeah. No, absolutely,
but
absolutely. Yeah.
but yeah, I've thought about wanting to go visit other places, just money and time.
Mhm. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's like I think people like I'm going through a little thing in my mind, and I'm trying to pull myself out of it every now and then. It's like with
Mm,
social media. I'm
mhm.
really going through a little tiff with social media in my mind, but we could
Yeah.
talk about it a little bit later.
Okay.
But and that's the thing, is like people see like on Instagram, for example, or they see all these travel vloggers and they think, well, that is what I need to do. My wife and I have this conversation all the time. It's like, that is what I want to do. I want to live that life, until you actually find the logistics behind it, like plane tickets, hotel
Oof.
stays, all of
Oof.
those things. Like you said, getting a passport, getting a visa to these places. And then, a lot of people, I think they feel very depressed or they feel down and out. And they're like, why can't I live? I'm a failure. I can't live like this person does. But actually, what you see on that guy's Instagram is actually not 100% real,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like you say, the logistics of traveling is difficult. It is
Yeah.
difficult,
Oh yeah. You
and
just
like
yep.
after COVID, it's been even more expensive in a
Yeah.
lot of places. Like,
Yeah. Like Dash says, it's expensive too. Well, not only
mm,
that, but you usually get like insurance. You have to have
mm,
insurance when you go out. You
that's right.
you try to plan to places that are sort of safe, because not every country you go to is safe.
Oh man, and that's a wormhole right there. That's a rabbit hole on its own. Is like safety. When you start researching, like,
Oh yeah.
is this place safe? You'll always read all the horror stories, and you think, is this where I want to go? Like,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know,
and there were stories, so like people wanting to go to Paris, right? There are stories where people just like they pickpocket you. You better watch
100%.
your stuff. You better watch your stuff
I've
because they'll pickpocket you.
Man, that stuff has been popping up on my feed a lot, where it's like all the scams in Paris, and you're like, that is insane. And unfortunately, whether you try to or not, when you go to a country like a city like Paris, you do look like a tourist. They see you coming a mile away, like,
Hmm.
no matter how hard you try to disguise it, but you are walking around with a backpack and a little fanny pack, and you're holding on to everything, and you're trying
Yeah.
to read a map, so they see you coming a mile away. And the amount of scams there are, yeah, it's insane, man. I can't believe the authorities do not do more to kind of protect the tourists. Like,
Yeah, they probably get a cut of it.
oh
Just
yeah,
like
yeah,
Kurt
possibly.
Kurt
Yeah.
Kaz on YouTube. It's a good look at some of those countries. I can believe it. I mean, if you can go to a place you can understand, that's great. But you're still going to be in the process of probably getting shanked or otherwise. Don't get shanked.
Mm.
But
It's not a good time.
no, not a good time. I remember back in the day, I had more than one hole, and it was not pretty.
Yeah, get that off your Christmas wish list right now. It's not a good time.
I got more than a hole.
Yeah, man. It's it's so funny. Like, I see Kurt Kaz. I'm assuming this is one of those guys. Like, I quite enjoy watching documentary style stuff on travel. Like, you get a lot of these YouTubers, and man, it's so crazy how people have the guts for that, because I would never be able to do that. Where they like, today we're gonna go to the worst neighborhood in Mexico, and then it's just this pasty white guy walking around this clearly dangerous area, and I'm like, that is crazy, like how they have just
I think that's who he's talking about. So,
the guts to do that. Yeah,
look right there. He's a South African bushman.
you know what, actually, Kurt Kaz, when I saw that profile picture, I was like, I think he's South African. I
Oh,
think he is. Like, he's always doing crazy stuff in Colombia and all of that,
yeah,
like this guy.
yeah. This it seems like he goes around the world, but man, he's dude, man, talk about picking one. Jeez.
Yeah, man,
Oh
honestly.
goodness. But yeah, he's doing what my DNA tells me. Oh wow, that's a good one. But yeah, I guess he goes around showing all the different stuff inside
Yeah,
Jamaica's
yeah.
worst hood. Well,
Oh,
Jamaica is
exactly. Like, that's what I'm talking about. There's crazy stuff right there.
yes. Yeah, see, someone spelt it wrong. Yeah, who's the big guy now? Travels to scary countries and bad neighborhoods. Well, it looks like it too. He's gone to Jamaica, worst hood, secret police in Baghdad. Of course, that'd be a thing. Don't go to this Venezuela island. Um, Solo in Mexico's craziest market, the dark side of Medellin. Kirk has okay, and just a bunch of other stuff. It's crazy. Journey
You're like,
across. Oh
can you
god.
imagine what his insurance payment is like?
Uh,
I think he pays more on insurance than he does on plane tickets. This guy.
Oh, I don't doubt it, because if you're going to the worst places, especially if you use like not cashier, what do they call that? Not cashier's checks, but they call uh, like
Traveler's checks.
traveler's checks. That's right, traveler's
Yeah.
checks, because those are though they're technically money for the place you go to, but they're because
Yeah.
trying to change currency is sort of just like, okay, so wait, it's this much or this.
Oh
That's
yeah, and there's a lot of scams tied to currency exchanges as well. Like the biggest scam is probably on the airport, and it's 100% legal. I don't get it. If you ever
mm,
changed money on an airport, you would know they rip. The fees are so expensive. So a lot of people, what they do. I'm sorry, I just want to apologize. My camera has an autofocus feature. I don't know where
you're
to
fine.
turn it off. So it'll go blurry every now and then. But
You're fine.
it's like that's why a lot of people get scammed by these currency exchange stuff because they don't want to pay the fee at the airport, like the high exchange fees. So they go outside to these little hole in the wall shops, and the guy would be like that, counting the money.
Mm.
He would count the money, give it to you, and then you would count the money, and you go, "Okay, I agree." You put it back, and then he counts it a second time. But as he counts it the second time, he drops a couple of notes behind the counter.
Jeez.
So there are videos on that type of stuff, and I'm just like, this is the thing about traveling. Like, what you do not see on Instagram.
Yep.
It's like if you dive into it head first and you don't do your research, like, then you'll end up, with a couple of $100 bills on the floor behind some counter in Bangladesh. It's like,
Oh goodness.
you have to be so careful with this stuff. Like, I remember when I went to Zanzibar in Tanzania,
Mm.
a beautiful little island, man. I had the time of my life, but there was one point where I had to get to an ATM,
Mm.
and this the guy, the driver that was responsible for taking me back and forth, he was busy at that point. He was picking somebody up at the airport, so it was like they have what they call the beach boys, like these local
Oh.
boys that walk the beach, and they wear like the local traditional outfits, and it's basically like a tourist thing, so the tourists can take nice pictures. And I started befriending these guys because I'm weird like that. I like to make friends with everybody. Like,
Mm.
so one of these guys were like, I'll take you to an ATM. It's just like across the road or whatever. So we started walking through this little jungle, and I was like, did I just make the worst decision of my life?
Oh no.
Like, trusting this guy that I just met. But thank goodness we ended up getting to an ATM, and he was actually a legit guy. But it's
Okay.
still that fear as a tourist that you
Mm.
have in you. Like, when you get to a certain point, you're like, man, am I in trouble here? And
Yeah.
that's a part of traveling that I really do not enjoy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
I have to
I'll,
say, like, it's not everywhere, obviously.
yeah, it's not. No, it's not everywhere. It's just,
Mm.
it's just like the Boy Scouts would say, be prepared.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But then again, I can travel within almost all 50 states without a passport. So when you don't want to have to go too far, it's just, I don't understand people want to get out to see the rest of the world, but as you just stated
Mm.
before, the cost
Maybe,
is.
yeah, maybe pretty soon you'll be able to go to Greenland without a passport.
I've been
I don't know
hearing
what's
that.
going on with that. I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on with that. I just read a couple of headlines, and I'm like, are they really trying to buy Greenland? That's gangster, dude.
It
That's a
won't be
really.
Greenland anymore. It'll be American land. That's right, American land.
It'll be.
America.
It'll be. It'll be blue and red land, white, blue and red land.
Blue and red land. No, it'll be it'll be something land. But who knows if it'll go through or not. Right now, it's just sort of a, a, a phase of stuff, because
Mm.
right now the president's not the president. Well, the president elect is not the president yet.
Yeah,
You,
yeah, not
you
yet.
still got 12 days to go, and there's plenty of room for something to happen. That's never a fun thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like get it over with already. Like, I try to stay out of American politics because I feel like there are so many people from other countries that are so outspoken about American politics, and I feel it's a bit rude. Like,
Mm,
it is a bit rude. It's like, wait a minute, you're so critical, but you're not a citizen of this country, so you just tone it down a little bit. But I do feel like a big positive change is coming in 12 days, and I'm happy about it, man.
yeah, I think
As a
that's the.
as a person that's not American, like, for the world, obviously the world is important for us all, so I
Yeah,
think it's going to be a great thing. Like, I'm excited for it.
yeah. There's a lot of people. Dash says me too. Yeah, there's a lot of people who feel that. But there's a lot of things too that a lot of people aren't happy with, like,
Mm.
focus on America first or whatever. That's fine and
Mm.
understandable. But I just don't care much for politics to begin with, because it's just not my forte, and I can talk about it, but it's sort of like
Mm.
talking about the black sheep of the family. It's like, yeah, he's there too, and then you're just like,
I love that. That's great. That's great.
mm,
Yeah, like, honestly, like, politics, like, that's one thing that I do kind of I do dabble, but personally, like in my circle of friends, like
Mhm.
online. But that's the thing. You unfortunately, like when you game on Rumble, that's it's not as often as people think. But
Mhm.
when people come into chat and they give an opinion or ask an opinion, I'll happily give it. It's not like
Yeah.
I'm saying no politics, but it's like something I feel like gets people into trouble quite often. And it's like it opens the doorway for conflict, and that's not what we're here to do. Like we're here to have a good time, make friends, and
Right.
all of that.
Well, it opens. Well, one, it opens the door to conversation. Conflict is something that comes out of the disagreement factor, and
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you disagree, that's fine. I mean, I've disagreed with a bunch of people over a bunch of different things, not just politics.
Mm,
But at the end of the day, though, if you're having a conversation and disagreements come up, there are two ways to go about it. You can either escalate, which doesn't always
mm.
work out well and can be disastrous, or you can disagree, but you come back and still have a conversation. The problem of
Exactly,
Yeah, the problem of it
exactly.
is many people tend to take the other direction instead of just maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, but I still want to talk to you anyway. That sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah. You see you see the problem is with that you get hot topics, like, and politics is a hot topic. Like if
Yeah,
we were to sit here and talk about your favorite and what I mean by hot topics, I'll tell you what I mean by that.
yeah.
It's like if we were to sit here and talk about our favorite milkshake, and you
Mm.
go, my favorite milkshake is strawberry. I'm not gonna lose my mind and flip my desk because you like strawberry milkshakes. I'm gonna go, strawberry milkshakes are kind of disgusting, but okay.
Yeah,
Um, but when it comes to politics, you don't get that. Okay, it's very seldom that you do. It's like
yeah.
the desk flipping. That's usually the way. That's why I say it's a hot topic. Um,
I just like if the table is like screwed to the floor, how do you flip a table?
or you flip the whole room upside down. Like some of these people will try, like flip the whole room upside down.
Sir, you
Let
all
me
right?
go get my toolkit.
1 second, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. Uh. I'm done now.
Yeah. But anyway, like I said, it's like unfortunately, like a lot of people have this perception of Rumble. Like, of course, politics is a big part of Rumble, but
Mm.
people think everything Rumble is politics, and it's so far
Yeah.
away from the truth. It's not even funny
Right.
anymore.
And it's understandable because again, most of the front page you just see a majority of that, although they are trying to do
Mm,
the gaming on it. But it doesn't help that their algorithm isn't up to par yet enough for that to be the case. And of course,
mm,
making an algorithm that kind of dishes out what you like to watch and all this stuff is not an easy gig either because it requires a lot of data, a lot of resources, and
mm.
right now they don't have as much. They don't have as much what's the word? They don't have as much data pool, whatever it is, to take from.
Yeah,
Compare it to YouTube, which has billions, right? That's a lot of data to
mm.
take in. Compared
Yeah, yeah,
to compared to that, so it's a difference between an ocean and a kiddie pool.
yeah.
That's the
Well,
difference.
well, to be honest, and this might not be a popular opinion, like from a guy that I started my content creation journey on YouTube like at the start of 2024. Like I
Right.
believe it was January 15th. I basically started my channel,
Nice.
and I started on YouTube, and I worked at it for basically a year. Well,
Mm,
not a year, until basically October when I made the jump to Rumble,
mm,
and like I worked at YouTube. So when people say like Rumble's algorithm is not up to par, then I can't help, and this is not always a popular opinion, but I can't
mm,
help but to take a step back and say, well, a big reason I left YouTube was because of the algorithm. So
mm.
I'm not too mad at YouTube not having Rumble not having a very powerful algorithm right now. You know?
Yeah. Well, and Dash, yeah, and I've seen that said before as well. My thing is just you have a lot of people who are edited content, right? They make videos that are edited.
Right,
So
right.
that's a part of the issue right there with that algorithm is that it's mostly just streams that are seen more rather than edited content. Now I have shorts
Mm,
and they get seen a little bit, but at the end of the day, they do have to make that balancing act. And yeah, and you're right, comparison to YouTube, but it's you don't want that. But at the end of the day, though, when you're trying to cater to all three systems, streams.
True, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, I see that side of it. I totally agree. Like a lot of people, yeah, they do post edited long form content videos, and yeah, like the reason I say about like the algorithm is, and this is a big reason I left YouTube, to be honest. And I'm not talking bad about YouTube. I like, if people come in and they say like I am a YouTube content creator, I go, well, that's great, but for me personally, my experience with, like, and I've done a lot of studying on the algorithm on YouTube, and like, obviously being a content creator, you want your video to be seen by as many people as
Right.
possible. But the problem comes in then is like YouTube forces you to niche down so hard.
Yep.
Like, and people think, well, my niche is gaming. That's not a niche. Like, that's not niching down enough for YouTube. Yep, that's like a vast, like,
It's an ocean.
a black hole, like right there. So you need to niche down, and people think, okay, well, Fortnite is, or battle royale games. It's not niche down enough. Now you go down Fortnite, and then within Fortnite you get different niches, like fashion shows and all of these crazy stuff. Like, but the thing that I found, and it was really, I was starting to feel like I was caged with the YouTube algorithm, where it was like I created Fortnite content for the first like 6 months
Right.
of my 8 month journey, 8-9 months journey, and then after that I started feeling like, I want to play something else. I want to play some other games. So the South Park Snow Day game just dropped, and
Nice.
I was like, man, I love South Park. Let me play that. I uploaded my first video, and it got like 30 views, and I was like, what's going on here? Then I went back to Fortnite, did that, and then I started to like play with these different games and uploading here and there. And then I figured out like how the YouTube algorithm works is like it builds basically it builds the knowledge of what your viewers like to watch. So when you upload anything other than that, the first thing the algorithm does is it sends that video to your audience, your Fortnite people. And if the Fortnite people have no interest, they don't watch that because it's not Fortnite. The video dies immediately.
Yeah.
So you're starting to think like, so the only thing I'll be able to do on YouTube is Fortnite. Like, and that was a big reason. Like, I started like expanding my niche to battle royale games like Call of Duty a little bit, but it was still the views on Call of Duty was so low. The live stream numbers were so low, and then I found Rumble through one of my viewers on YouTube, Clawshot. Big shout out to Clawshot.
Nice.
He suggested YouTube because I had the subscribers, like 2,000 plus subscribers, but I was working at the watch hours, and he was like, on Rumble you can monetize right from the start. I was like, okay, let me try it. So I put off streaming on Rumble, and then I did. And man, what a life-changing moment that was. The first live stream, we had people come in showing such great love and support, and it was just I finished that live stream and I was like, holy hell, I'm not going back, but it was a difficult decision moving away from YouTube. Like, obviously there's so much emotion and time and effort put into your channel. Like, it took multiple conversations with my wife. I mean, man, bless her, she's such a supportive person and a beautiful soul, because let me tell you one thing, I'm one of these guys where I'll go, I'm moving to Rumble, and then tomorrow I'm like, I can't leave YouTube, I can't do it, and then the day after I was like, Rumble is where it is. So I went through that period of like a month where I was back and forth, and I had conversations with my wife, and she just told me, she's like, you know what, you feel Rumble is what does your gut tell you? Your heart. And I was like, my heart tells me I need to go to Rumble. And I took the step, and I've not looked back, once at all.
And that's understandable, because I started streaming. I started making pre-edited content first, and then I started streaming to both ends, because my issuance is that there's too much of a bad mojo on other platforms, YouTube, Bachelor is there, Twitch, and all that stuff, where if you're all in on one platform like that, you're going to lose, because you've seen how they apply their rules, right? Some people get the rules applied differently than others. And the issue of it is for me as a content creator, you want to build a safety net, right? You want to make sure that if one platform goes down, your content is safe on another platform. It's sort of like what they call disc disparity, or not disparity, but it's sort of like
I,
RAID.
I get what you mean. Yeah,
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 it did like
yeah,
RAID. When your disk, the data is on different disks and stuff like that. You want to be able to do that
yeah.
because again,
Oh, it's like a backup. Yeah.
yeah, it's like a backup. So I do it to both ends. I've used both
Mm,
ends, but the way I come from it is a bit different than, yeah. I look at the metrics and stuff, and that's sure, but I don't make my content based upon um what is it? Are you talking edited videos, long form videos still perform best? Because Google, yeah. Well, are you talking streams or long form? I'm thinking he's meaning edited. I think he's meaning edited. But
mm,
for me, it's just I don't make my content based upon what the algorithm pushes for, because
mm.
I can't chase that rainbow. I mean, it's a rainbow for anyone else who wants it. That's fine. That's your
Chasing the
content.
carrot. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Absolutely.
You But for me it's sort of, I do this thing because, yeah, it is a niche, but it's something I didn't see other content creators do that I followed.
Yeah.
And so when you go through this process, right, you start doing this thing little by little, and then you start seeing that, wait a second, I've gotten all these people on just to talk about whatever, and it takes
Mm.
almost over a year or so for a content creator else to even have that amount of people on. What are they doing?
Yeah.
It's a thought you sort of have.
Yeah.
Thought it's
Yeah.
important. Yeah, that's true too, but authenticity can also be fake too, depending on how you do it. Um, but for me, it's just, I I have said before, I do use the tagging system on YouTube. I do try to RAID 0. There it is, RAID 0. Apologies, because that's what I was starting to think of. But I do try to use the tagging system on YouTube. Do use the tags, all that stuff. But
Mm.
there's a point where you have to realize, okay, so why am I doing this thing? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why are you playing Fortnite? Why are you gaming? Why is someone
Mm.
creating IRL vlog stuff? Why is someone do this? Why do you as a content creator create content? Because the biggest thing about what has come from content creation is the monetization factor, right?
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
stuff gets seen, you make money. YouTube has been great for that for some content creators, not so for others. The
Yeah. Yeah.
issue I have with that is, and this is just my personal issue, you can have whatever else. Where lies the authenticity in it when you earn money from it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you earlier talked about the algorithm, right? And you were
Mm.
chasing after the algorithm of saying, well, you were testing, you were
Mm.
experimenting, so that makes sense.
No.
But now you're going past the point to where you are algorithm. This works better, that works better uh to get see more stuff. For me, the YouTube may say that tags are minimal or whatever, but if you hit on the
Oh,
right
it's
tag,
not at all. By the way, it's not at
no, it's
all.
it's a lie in itself, because if you hit on the right tag, you could go far. It's just for me,
Yeah.
I can't chase after this analytical stuff. I can't look at the analytics,
Mm.
say, okay, what do I change? No, because then at the end of it, what I'm doing just becomes, you know, zero, zilch, nothing,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I'm not going to follow the algorithm, or I'm not going to follow what the big,
Mm.
they put videos out every time, like, this is how you can cheat the algorithm or whatever. At the
Yeah.
end of
Yeah.
the day, it's about why you want to do this. Why do you want to create content?
Yeah. Yeah.
Simple
Yeah.
basis.
Yeah, no, sorry, Dara.
Sure.
I need to take that 1 minute break real
Oh yeah,
quick.
yeah,
Get my
fine.
coffee. I'll be right
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
All right, okay.
Apologies, chat. I'll be
No, you're fine.
right back. It's like almost 9
Coffee.
a.m. in the morning. I need that coffee.
He
All
needs
right.
his
Be right
coffee.
back.
Someone get him his coffee. Stop. He'll be right back. Um, I'm authentic. I love whoever gives me money. Live search. You just lost the money. No more money for live search. No one give him live search. I wouldn't really call it goals, but it's a drive to do a thing that I didn't see a lot of creators doing, and I'm enjoying the process. Like I don't doing making shorts has been a bit of a difficulty, but at the end of the day, I enjoy this process. I enjoy the people I get to meet, like Sergeant Wilkie in the chat. Hello, good sir. Nice to see you again. Um, but at the end of the day, my issue is that with monetization now a thing, does it still make your content? And that could be asked of me too, right? That could be asked of me too. It's like you're instantly monetized on Rumble. Does that mean your content is true? Well, I didn't go on it for the instant monetization. First off, it's just a benefit. Um, but which is a goal. Yeah, I understand, but I don't call it a goal. I just call it like it's a rainbow to chase or something like that. Like I still grow on both ends. It's just YouTube is a lot harder than Rumble. But then again, Rumble is still newer. It's still younger. It's still littler. It's all that stuff, and it still has room to grow. Albeit in what way, it's got to get there. But I don't do my thing for the chase of the numbers, because I mean the numbers would be nice in a way of maybe getting something out there, right? If you need to get something out there, there's a lot of people that can just spread it and not using it as a weapon or anything, but Joe's like, you want to get,
Mhm.
oh hey, my system is down or something like that. That can be all that stuff. But because it's just one of those things that I just can't do it. Otherwise, I don't
Mhm.
enjoy this process, and it ends up being a falsity, because I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
enjoy getting meeting people, whether you're a content creator or not. That's a big important part. I have to keep reminding people, this is not a content creator spotlight. I don't care if you're a content creator. It doesn't matter to me. I've had people on who aren't content creators. What matters to me is
Mhm.
if you're willing to take up the opportunity to just have a conversation.
Yeah,
And that's
you see, yeah, like I hear everything you're saying.
mm,
I guess it comes down to like the different personalities you have in people. Like for example, like for me, I have a very and this is gonna sound horrible, but it
mm,
it is something that I've learned about myself and something that I had to get the knowledge on
mm,
in order to get on top of it. Like I have a very addictive personality, right? So it
mm,
means like I love talking to people. I love meeting people, and that is a big reason why I'm on Rumble, because you don't have to worry about those numbers and all of that so much as a live streamer. Like you said earlier, as a person that posts edited long form videos, it could be better. But
mm,
like on YouTube, I found like the big motivating thing, the thing that kept me driven was figuring out those numbers. You
mm,
understand what I mean? And unfortunately, for a person like myself that loves talking to people,
mm,
for you to get to those people to talk to, you need to figure out the algorithm. You need to kind of follow those numbers a little bit, because if nobody sees your content, you're not talking to anybody. And that was my goal. Like a lot of people post content for the art of editing and expression, and
mm,
that's good, and they find their audience,
mm,
so I'm not saying one way is the right way, one way is the wrong way, but
mm.
like for me it was like I was starting to feel a little bit detached from the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like Yosuke was saying something really important there in the chat. He was saying you start creating content for the algorithms and not for the audience,
Mm,
and it is so true. But that's what was so like the spiral of YouTube is like you need to get the numbers to get to the people, and it was like when I started streaming on Rumble, it's like the people just came in. It didn't matter what game I was playing; they came in and said hello, and we had conversations. I was like, this is so great. But as far as the algorithm on YouTube, it was like getting on top of that and figuring out. It's just part of my personality. I
yeah.
like setting, like people were saying in the chat there about the goals. Dashboard was saying about the goals, setting the goals. It's like, all right, we got to 10 subscribers now. Let's 50. Let's see if we can get 50. That was a thing for me and my brain to kind of keep me motivated. And but then right enough, like you guys are saying, you get to a certain point where you're like, okay, well, I need to stop right now. I need to take stock of what I'm doing and what I have right now.
Mm,
And uh, if you start getting demotivated because your numbers are not aligning, then you know you're
yeah.
not doing. Then it's not healthy anymore,
Yeah.
right?
Mm,
Um, so yeah, that was the thing, and I was like, that was one of the things, like, and that's what I'm saying. It's not a popular opinion that Rumble doesn't have that set algorithm so as powerful
YouTube.
as YouTube, because then you get the people that's like, okay, I've figured out the algorithm. This is what you
Yeah.
need to do, and then you start getting content like the clickbait content. You start
Mm,
getting like the oh, like and subscribe if you want a free giveaway, and the giveaway never happens, and
yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like in the Fortnite space, like the gaming space on YouTube, you see it a lot, and it was so infuriating to me because you're sitting there and you're making content,
Mm,
and it comes from the heart. It comes from the right place. But then you get people, you sit there with like two, three, four people in your live stream, and you're just being sincere. But then
mm,
you get live streams of people looping a playback of
yeah.
them, showing like something that's clearly fake. and they're in there with like 400-500 people, and you're like, what's happening here? But it's an algorithm that pushes people in that way. A
Mm,
big part of the algorithm, because they're like, the more people we get to comment, it's like those looping videos that they live stream about. Show me your Fortnite locker. Show me all of your skins. I promise you, I have all of these skins.
mm,
Comment a skin, comment a cosmetic down below, and I promise I'll have it.
mm,
But this is a pre-recorded video of a Fortnite website
mhm.
that has all the skins, and the
Yep.
people are just in the chat. The kids are in the chat going, "See if you have this one. See if you have this one." He never shows it because it's pre-recorded. But
Yep.
the guy sat there with like 500 people in the chat, and he's just making money. And I was like, that is so scammy to me. But
Yeah.
it's algorithm. It's
Yeah.
algorithm based.
Yeah. It
So
it
yeah,
is.
it's one of those things. Like, you can never have anything perfect in this world, I'm sure,
Nope.
but
Nope. Never
you
meant
you
to
get the
be.
positives and the bads, and
Yep.
everything. But for me personally, that's why I'm on Rumble. That's what I love about this place.
Yeah. And no, it's understandable too. But anyway, it is the power hour time, and what that means is, so I set aside some time for us to promote ourselves. Some creators, when they have guests on, they do it at the beginning, or they do it at the end, or they do it sporadic throughout. I do it at sort of like at the top of the hour, because sort of a timekeeper, right? Because I
Okay.
do have a full-time job, so I do have to get up in the morning, and I have to do a setup for another stream
I
tomorrow.
feel you, brother. I feel you.
But the point of the matter is just to take a small break from that time period, promote ourselves, get back into it. It's sort of like you're the kids in the swimming pool, and you're trying to see how long you can hold your breath. And one can do
Okay.
1 minute, and the other kid can do 2 minutes. You're like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if I should be doing that anymore. But anyway, so I did. Let me see. I did put the links you had on your bio. So, but if you want to sell yourself, as the kids would say, not like that. Uh, the floor is yours.
Oh, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Um, wow. Again, first of all, I just want to say thank you to Mr. Dara here. Awesome platform, man. Awesome. I love what you do here. It's like a big positive space here for people to talk to each other, and like
Mm,
people of the same kind of, like, if you have a few followers, medium tier or high tier, it's open for everybody. I love that. Thank
mm,
you for the platform. So I'm not gonna do too much of a sales pitch or anything like that. But guys, we are on Rumble. We have a little crew of like 4 or 5 people, 4 people, I believe it is, just our friends group, and we love hanging out. We love playing games, and yeah, like, we are very focused on positivity, and not toxic positivity. If something is trash, we'll say it's trash. If we
mm.
get annoyed by a game, we will express those feelings, like
Yeah.
like we will rage. But
Mm,
yeah, like I say, I stream like 3 times a week, on Sunday mornings, Monday evenings,
mm,
7 p.m. Eastern, Wednesday evening 7 p.m. Eastern, and Sunday morning 7 a.m. Eastern we start. um so yeah, that's it. We play Fortnite, we play whatever we want to play, and we love having people there to talk to us, and
mhm,
just have conversations, have fun with each other. I feel like, um, but like I always say this, and I know it's going to sound super cringy, and I
mm.
apologize for that ahead of time, but like, the most important asset that you have is time, right? It's
Yep.
something you can never get back. It's something you can't buy.
Mm,
It's worth way more than money, than food, than anything else, is time.
yep.
um, so when people come into the chat and they spend their time with us, like, that means the world to us. Like, to me
Mm,
personally, that means the world to me. If you come in and you say hello, even if you lurk or just watch, like,
mm,
that time that you spend on me, it means so much to me. So I always tell my viewers this. I promise to do my best to put on a show for you, and to not always a show like jumping through hoops or
mm.
juggling or anything like that, but I'm always going to try to make it like a good experience for you. So, and we do that with positivity, with honesty, with truth, and like you said, like they said in the chat, being authentic is important.
Mm,
And like, that's what we fire up the webcam, the OBS, and we play games. Like, that's
mm,
that's what I do. So if you guys want to stop by, like, I'd appreciate it so much. If you don't have time, if it doesn't align up, that's fine as well. It's it's just whatever it is, come hang out with us. We'll love to have you there.
You know what? You start sending invoices, you're gonna get some dead cockroaches in your box for Christmas. All right.
Invoices for my time. Oh,
Well, you're gonna get a nothing, that's for sure. But anyway, yes, don't forget his links are down below. Whether you're on the Rumble side, whether you're on the YouTube side, they are down below in the description box. So make sure you
thank you,
give them
sir.
a look. But
Appreciate
also
you.
you're welcome. But for that regard, for my end of things, whether you're on the Rumble side, whether you're on the YouTube side, if you wouldn't mind giving a like, sharing the content, leaving a comment or follow or repost, you can do that in Rumble now. Anything that helps the engagement factor is much appreciated because, again, guys, not only does it help in being seen more, because that's what all creators want, basically, it helps in having more people on as guests. Like I've had people on who weren't even, sometimes they came in the chat, sometimes they were from my Pay It Forward stream, sometimes they were just from Twitter X, and they've followed. So the thing of it is I'm doing this thing in order to create that conversation across the coffee table sort of thing. I don't drink coffee, but you get the idea. So any help with the engagement factor helps with that sort of thing. All new people, some new, some returning sort of people this month, and it should be it's a great time. So any help with that is much appreciated on Rumble and YouTube. And also, if you want to know where else I'm at, there's a link down below. Check it out. It has all the stuff of knowing where I'm at. And if you'd like to take up the opportunity yourself to come on, like Joe Donuts or Slinger Games, guess what? You can either leave a comment on either Rumble or YouTube or go to the link down below and we'll get there. So, but anyway, thank you all so much. Engagement factor, link down below. Appreciate you all. It's like trying to explain how I tried to juggle but with no hands.
Yeah, guys, honestly, drop the love on this stream. Like Dara, I don't know how you do it. You're a machine, dude. You are so positive, like with the interaction even on X on the post. Like you're like for a up and coming content creator. Like every time I open X and I see that little blue one above the notification bell,
Yeah.
I get so excited. It's like somebody is interacting with my content.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of times it's you just hitting a like just on a random Fortnite post or something. So I appreciate you. I want to say thank you for that. Yeah.
Well, I do try to. I mean, I can't do. I mean, I can only do so much as in for what I can because for me, I'm not by any standards considered big. You could look at say Dr. Disrespect or Silver or Lumpy, whatever. And those people have more followers than anything ever. But for me, I'm not on that scale. But what I'm creating is not what I'm doing is not. It isn't the quick way to get there. I mean, they've probably been on longer than I am, so that counts too. But I don't have to play the games. I don't do. I can, but I'm not going to do it on camera. I want to do it for like myself,
Yeah, keep that part for yourself. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I play Fortnite, but on a casual level, and I'm talking very casual because I've lost more than I played.
Listen, don't get me wrong here. Like don't get me wrong. That was the big thing about starting the content creation journey for me. It's like that was a big hurdle to overcome within myself. It's like I suck at Fortnite. How am I going to become a Fortnite content creator if I suck at the game?
Yeah.
But it's just one thing where it's like, listen, you don't have to be a pro to be able to do it. But I get it. Like, I don't want you to think because I stream Fortnite, I'm any good at the game. I'm absolutely not.
No. Oh no, I wasn't thinking you were some big shot in the world. I wasn't thinking at all. You're no.
Oh wow.
You're no ninja.
Wow. We were not thinking about chat.
Look at Mr. Big Shot over here telling us how big he is
with his fake Spanish and all of that.
His fake Welsh Spanish is like por qué? No, you must say it with feeling and emotion. I'm American. God. I don't know how to do that. If I ever did get big, which is a possible future, I still, I still be acting the same way of doing this stuff because again, I'm not a just creator spotlight. I am not just let me try because I have tried to get people who I've considered big, but to the scale of I've also had people on who don't create content at all. Where have you seen someone like? At least for me, I didn't see it very much anywhere else. I mean, you could probably go point to like Joe Rogan or Theo Vaughn or whatever. But where else do you see like people just It's just people. It doesn't matter if you create content or not, or if you're big or small.
Yeah.
It doesn't. That's the point. That doesn't matter. It's we have this stipulation now where we have all this sort of stuff going on, the chaos of the world, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But yet we can't come to the table and just have a conversation, even if we disagree. I mean, it's
Like
just
this is the thing that I believe is like why I appreciate what you're doing so much,
Mm,
because the first thing is like always people tend to try to punch up. They always try to get that guy that's bigger. They always try to get the guy with the more followers to come on, because it's like that could spill over. But what I appreciate about you is like you get anybody on as long as they can have a conversation and willing
mm,
to have a conversation.
yeah,
And that's beautiful. I think that is so so beautiful. The second thing is, like you just said, there is so much chaos in the world, and
mm,
I believe the reason for that, and the reason that there is so much hate,
mm,
like in the world and the social media, is because people stopped talking to each other.
yeah,
They started screaming at each other. They started shouting at each other.
mm,
They started insulting each other instead of talking to each other.
mm,
It is so important. It is like one of the cornerstones of a healthy, thriving society, is being able to talk to each other. Even though if you don't agree, or if you
mm.
do agree, you need to, instead of banding up together, getting the pitchforks out and
Mm.
the torches, saying we're three of us, there's one of him, let's go harass him. Let's just talk to each other.
Yeah, because I mean,
Um,
there are people you're not going to get to talk to because they just don't want that, and that's fine. The
mhm.
thing is though, what did you take the opportunity to at least try? Right? If you took the opportunity to at least try, you are more ahead than most people would be. And I'm not saying I'm the only person that does have people on or whatever. I'm just saying I'm doing something I didn't see a lot of the creators that I follow did. And for me, it's
Mm,
they either bring someone on who's becomes within their circle, and that's fine, that's whatever. But at the end of the day, though, I've had people on from Twitch. I've had someone on
yeah,
from Kick, YouTube, and all this stuff. It's about trying to reach across those lines because even platforms have their own battle stations, if you will. And I get it, right?
mhm,
They're all businesses at the end of the day. But let me just
yeah.
point this out to you. How long are you going to fight a false battle with the amount of time you have,
Mm, mm.
right?
Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh,
How long? How
that's a
long?
good question, right?
How long are you gonna fight a false battle over
Mm,
almost nothing? I mean, it is business after all, right? How long are you
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
fight a false battle over nothing in order with the time you have on this earth? I mean, I don't, find your thing you want to do in this life, whether it's content creator or whatever, but stop
Mm,
fighting a false battle. Because that's what it
yeah.
seems like we're always doing is we're fighting over false battle and just stating, hold the break, pull back a bit, and just be okay. I may have misunderstood you. Let's backtrack on this. Because that's where we
Yeah.
get to, right? We get to the opposing factor. There's nothing wrong with a healthy debate, but there is something wrong when the debate turns into I'm right, you're wrong scenario. Guess
Yeah, yeah,
what?
yeah.
At the end of the day, you're either gonna be 6 feet under or dust in the wind. What matters at that point?
Yeah, yeah. No, it's true. It's true. And it's like this is the thing that people tend to forget as well. It's like who you are today and who you are in 3 months' time is going to be different.
Mm,
Whether it's small or a small difference or a big difference. Like who I was 6 months ago, who I was 2 years ago is not the person I am today. So this is a lesson that I kind of learned, and I agree with you 100%. This is a lesson that I've learned. Um, in my time, and I'm really on Rumble. I'm really trying to apply this to
mm,
what I'm doing right now. It's like when you think about, are we going to get angry about this and
mm,
engage with this on social media,
mm.
and throw my opinion in there because it's coming from a place of frustration, annoyance, or anger?
Yeah.
Or am I going to take a step back and say, you know what? Let me focus on my viewers. Let me
Mm,
focus on what I'm doing. And
mm.
then let me see in a couple of hours how I feel about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Because
And I think that's so important. Like, I know, like, um, yeah, you'll find it everywhere, like with everything.
mm,
It's like there will be something that will annoy you or you will not agree with.
mm,
But instead of interacting with it immediately, just
mm.
take a step back and say, hold on, let me see how I feel about it in a couple of hours. Let me think about it.
Yeah.
And and after a couple of hours, I'll kind of find like, holy hell, I'm so glad I didn't get involved in that, because I don't
Yeah.
really care about it that much. I found like it's either something I don't know enough about, so I'm not gonna jump in there with anger. So places where people talk to each other is it's like when you can sit down and say, well, I believe strawberry milkshakes are disgusting, and you say, well, no, well, they're great. Let's say, well, let's talk about it. I use the milkshake thing as an example for many, many different things. It's
Yeah.
like, if you can enter a discussion
Mm.
and you are willing to either have your opinion changed, you have to enter any conversation with the willingness to have your opinion changed, if
Right.
there are facts and if it makes sense to you. And I feel like that's what more people need to do, is just say, well, okay, let me hear him out. Let me understand why you feel this way. And
Yeah.
then when you do explain it to me, and I go, you know what, that actually makes sense. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was leaning to a certain direction too hard.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we had that conversation. That's so important. It's
Yeah.
so valuable.
Yeah.
So
Well,
valuable.
and it doesn't have to come in to change your mind. It could just be a bridge of understanding, because it's not about changing. It's not about coming to change your mind all the time. Well, at all. It should be about just willing to come across the bridge and, just have, it's like that song that Kermit sings, that Rainbow Connection sort of thing. But
Mm,
we get lost in the biases. We kind of get lost in the emotion, especially if it's across social media, right, where you just see
yeah, yeah.
words but you don't see the other part, which is, we can see each other's faces, we can hear how we react and sort of stuff, like whatever.
Mm,
But the problem of it is that it does seem to get skipped over. And yeah, you could have this right versus left or whatever, but I don't care, because when I'm dead, that's not gonna matter.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
you're talking about a system that will probably live far after I'm gone, and yet we'll still have the same issues. We'll still have the same problems. They'll be at a different time period, which means different technologies, whatever. But
Mm,
that's with anything. The
yeah, yeah.
1900s are not the same as the 1960s. And you see the development of technology and clothing and fashion and all this stuff through. But at
Mm,
the end of the day, though, why do we have to sit down in this argue barrel of who's right or who's wrong, when at the end of the day, everyone's trying to provide for the family, if they have a family, right? Some people are by themselves, that's fine. Some people are
yeah.
trying to do, good bits here, security, food, and whatever. And at the end of the
Mhm.
day, we're all trying to at least provide for ourselves and family if we have it.
Yeah.
Not trying to get into wars where nuclear weapons could be blasted off and we're all pretty
Oh,
much
hell
dead
yeah.
anyway.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. But it's
Absolutely.
again, it's just trying to come to the table. And yeah, I'm not always gonna, I'm not gonna always be right. I know that. Or I'm not always gonna understand or whatever. But at the end of the day, at least I was willing to take up the opportunity and say, hey, would you like to come on for a conversation? And for me, I try to be like a blank slate every time a new person comes on, because they don't know you and you don't know
Yeah.
them, so you don't want to start from a place of uneven personality stuff, or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
once you do that, you are in a space of disparity of like height and stuff, right? Like you already start
Mm,
no, you just start at the same level and you kind of work out the story from there, right? We're building a story, so to speak. uh
yeah.
what has a coin sometimes? Oh, they talking about 8 ball, a magic 8 ball.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw
Making
that.
decisions. Yeah. It's like Nero is saying, it's like sleeping on a large purchase instead of an impulse buy. I'm still
Yeah,
working on that, to be honest.
yeah.
In my
I'm not
personal life.
perfect. Yeah, and I'm not perfect either. Don't I'm gonna be
Mm,
like you know Jordy,
yeah.
don't take my word for it, but understand that at least I'm not coming to attack you. And there have been times where it's happened on social media, but then I have to grow and learn and kind of pull myself back and says, is this worth the time wasted over something that doesn't involve you? You're not getting
Mm,
attacked,
mm.
so it is what it is.
Exactly, that is so true. Like it is that saying. I can't believe I can't remember who said it. I don't know if it's Jordan Peterson or who it was that said it, but they were saying like, you are the only one that determines if your opinion is important enough to interject somewhere. Like, so if I see Daramouthe and Yosuke on X having a conversation, or they're having an argument,
Mhm.
I am the only one that determines if my opinion on their discussion or argument is important enough to
Mhm.
interject there and get involved and say, well,
Yeah.
you know what? Daramouthe should be wearing a blue hat instead of a red hat. What's wrong with him? It's like, well, it's like, what, just take a step back for a second
Yeah.
and determine, like, first of all, do you care about this enough to get involved there and maybe burn a bridge or upset somebody, or,
Mm.
and then maybe Dara takes offense to that and you never talk to him again. And such a that is such an awful thing to happen, because like when people come together, great things happen. When people break up and go apart, nothing happens,
Mm.
and say, like, if you can find a middle ground, I think people should work towards that, because great things happen. Like,
Boo, boo. I'll keep I like my red. Thank you very much.
oh, did I
No,
open Pandora's box here on your hat?
you better watch it. No, no, it's fine. Well, red's my favorite color, so I'm not gonna change it now. So sucks to be you guys. But no, and it comes another thing too, is where I I have been on shows where people are very topic centric, and that's fine, talking about entertainment, whatever. But for me, I can't have a show based on that, because I've seen what having freedom of conversation can do, rather than, oh, let's talk about how the TV shows of Disney are doing, or this or that, whatever,
Mm,
which is fine. Your content is your own. Don't listen to me. But at the end of the day, for me, I can be on someone else's show, and if they have that question to me, I can answer the best of my abilities. But at the end of the day,
mm.
it's very tiring. It's very
Yeah,
tiring, especially when someone says culture war. Look, kids, I'm going to tell you this right here now. There was a culture war before you were born, and there will be a culture war after you die.
mm.
And the only thing that will change is that you're not there to see it.
Well said. Well said.
So
Uh, Sorry, a big shout out, Big Block. Welcome to the chat. Hey, buddy. Hello, hello.
yeah,
Sorry, I've seen him before in the chat. I just wanted to say hello
he's
to him.
he's from Panda Sub 2000, which I've had on before. He's one of my mods.
Oh.
You better be modding correctly there, Big Block. Otherwise,
Whoa.
there's gonna be some
Dara,
mispayments.
Dara coming out swinging.
No, he's fine. He does a good job. He doesn't
Okay.
do a good job as a mod, but he does a good. I'm joking. It's a joke. Don't go on a spree, otherwise I'm taking away the power. Taking away the power.
He's gonna go on a strike, a sit
Strike.
down
He's
strike.
going on. He's going on a self strike by taking him out with his own modding power.
He's gonna start removing all the messages from chat real quick, like in a minute.
He'll just remove himself. He's like, I'm done with this. Shots fired. No, it's not shots fired. It's a joke. Come on. But I mean, I've had people. I've had someone. I've been blocked. I've had someone who whatever. It's just I'm. I'm not like one of those people that attract like all the big trolls, whatever. But at the end of the day, there is stuff where I've been blocked by someone who I once had on, and all this other stuff. And it's just, what, life goes on, man. Life goes
Yeah,
on.
yeah. I don't know how anybody could block you, dude. You're so
I don't
positive,
know.
and you're so positive and so bubbly, man. I love listening to your like sometimes when I design stuff, like
Mm.
I've got two monitors. I have you on the second monitor, and I just
Oh, thank
listen.
you.
Like especially now with just kind of doing a bit of research.
you, you can't call yourself a troll. You ain't nothing but. You're barely even a troll at all. You're more of like data research. Actually, you know what? I'd rather have that. Give me data
Yeah.
research. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but anyway, I have you on the second monitor, especially now when I was just researching the show a little bit, just to get a feel for what's going on. I really fell in love with your content. Like, so I don't know why anybody could block you. Like, I have
I
no
don't know.
idea. I
I
have
don't
no
know why.
idea.
I don't know why either. The person who did block me, I did have as a guest, but I
Mm,
didn't even. I was going, I was going to try to go through DMs, because believe me, I have so many DMs. It's not even funny.
mm.
But I was trying to go through DMs to try to invite this person on again, and all of a sudden I find you can't respond to this person anymore. They've blocked you. I'm like, what did
Yeah,
I
that's
do?
weird, man. That's
And
weird.
the last message I did have with him was sort of him coming on the show, and just giving him the link to come on, and all of a sudden it's just like, what is this?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it at the end of the day, you know what? That's fine. There are more people beyond that one person.
Oh
More
yeah,
people
oh
beyond.
yeah. Absolutely, that's so true. And it's like you say, it's like there's nothing you can do about that.
Trolls
There's
are
absolutely
basically.
nothing you can do about that. But
Mm,
I've always said like, and this is a big kind of foundation of friends and all of that. Just like
mm,
if something bothers you, if I said something that chances are it wasn't intentional, you know,
Mhm.
because I'm just not that type of person that will go out rage baiting people or anything like that.
Yeah.
If I did say something to upset you, just tell me about it and we could talk about it. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. Maybe it
Mhm.
was not as you, because that's the thing about social media as well. It's like when we talk to each other,
Mhm.
we can hear the tones in our voice, we can see the
Yep.
facial expression.
Mhm.
So on social media, people tend to make up the tone in their mind as they read it, you know. So it's like the difference between I like cats, like I like cats, and oh, I like cats. Now all of a sudden it's sarcastic, and you're go block that person. People make up the tone in their mind as they read
Yeah.
the message. So
Yeah.
you can't just. I think it's so important. Like if somebody does something and you value that relationship that you have with that person, whether it's romantic, friendship, professional, or whatever it is.
Mhm.
If you value that relationship and it's something you want to nurture and grow, if
Mhm.
something happens and you're not sure, message, talk to each other, say like,
Yeah.
sorry buddy, I read this, I'm kind of feeling that it was a certain way, is this true or not? And that chances are that person's going to go, no, 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 that not at all,
Mhm.
it must be some misunderstanding, that's not what I meant.
Mhm.
But like I said, when people come together, it's great things happen. When people drift apart, nothing comes from it. So
Yeah.
um yeah, it's so
And
important to
and
just
I
keep
know I'm not.
communicating.
Yeah, and I know I'm not gonna make friends with everyone. That's just part of the internet ordeal. But the
Mm,
point of the matter is trying to make connection across this conversational way, because again, we're talking about, the where the chaos and all that stuff. And
yeah.
when you can't, what and again, going back to, not just for one side or this, for just about anyone who's willing to take up the opportunity and all this stuff. And I'm not set topic centric. I mean, we've gone all over the place. Like you used where
Mm,
we started with via con Dios, and then just kind of go to like making build tongue, whatever. You're just kind of like, I don't know
yeah.
how is this a thing. But again, I know for personal that it's not something that's very, it's not popular because it doesn't get like the high views, whatever. But the point of the matter is to make the
Mm.
bridges that matter more, because I'm someone who wants to beat the algorithm rather than rely on the algorithm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Godspeed to you, dude. That is not the easiest thing to do, but that is really, it is a very just cause. You know, it's like trying to do that. I respect it. I really do. I really do.
I'm trying a little hard, but those orphan children don't work hard enough. But anyway, look, they can pedal those bikes all they want, but they're not gonna get their meal until they get back to work. Pulling out pulling out an
Wow,
pulling out an
love it.
Oliver Twist, everyone. But anyway, yeah, it's just a learning progress. Like if you were to
Mm,
look at my thumbnails from the beginning, you'd see that they've improved over time and all this stuff. And again, do use the tagging system, but at the end of the day, it's about staying true to the context of why I do this,
yeah,
because I can't. Even with the taggings, I try to stay within the context of what's within the video of the short, whatever. Because I
yeah,
can't. I I I just can't. I can't do the clickbait, even if it's just, I do funny sometimes, but not clickbait to the point
yeah,
it's
yeah.
too extreme. Um,
Yeah. No, okay, it's so true. Like it is, I get it, like, and I respect it because like the 6 7 months that I 8 months I put in on YouTube with all the study, and you look at 4 different people that are like the watch this video to build your viewer
yeah.
base or whatever.
Mm,
The 4 people, it's all say 4 different things, but you have
mm,
to try to find, like, if they all give you 10 tips on how to grow your YouTube channel, you have to try to find the tip that they all kind of talk about, that one tip that they all agree on,
mm,
and it's time consuming, and then you apply that tip after all the time and it doesn't work, and it really is not sustainable. Like, so I get what you mean, and I wish you all the success in the world, man. I really do, because that is, if you get wrapped up in that game of the algorithm and all of that, man, it is not sustainable. You will really have more bad experiences than you will have good experiences, and that's what it's about. Content
yeah,
creation, it's good experiences and
yeah.
having
Well,
fun with it.
because people, a majority of people need to most of those videos are wrong. Hey, you know what? It's true. I'll agree with that. But but I think that's also another thing too, is again, coming back to the question of why you create content, if you're doing this to the money factor, whatever, or the views or whatnot, if you forget to have fun out of all this, and realize that you may not be making a living out of it just to have fun with it. Like I have a full-time job, so I'm not reliant on
Mm.
this. Even though if likes
Yeah.
and follows and all that stuff are a bonus, it's not a reliance on. Maybe
Mm.
one day when this thing can get bigger and stuff, but I even then I would have something in the backworks not to rely fully. The point of
Yes.
the point of the matter is that I dang it, I don't know where I was going with that one. I kind of
Did you
lost.
forget your point there, Mr. Dara?
You know what? I apologize. There were a bunch of people in chat. They're throwing me off. You'll
Dude,
have
that
to.
happens to me so often. Don't worry about it. Like I would have a deep conversation, like with my wife or a friend, and I'll just go, "Wait, what was I talking about there?" Like, so I
Well,
get it.
and to go back to the algorithm thing, YouTube's algorithm almost is like it's almost like a little that little spiral sucker you see. It's
Oh
sweet,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
delicious, but then
Black hole.
it becomes an anaconda. All right,
Mm.
it'll slowly creep up on you, and you're like, "Oh, that looks pretty," and you just like whatever, and then it slowly just
Mm.
grips the life out of you, and you're just like,
No, exactly. It's like people think like figuring out the algorithm is what they need to do, but then once you do, you find out you've become so stuck in this
mm,
thing that, like I did, like I started getting the algorithm to work for me, got more followers, more subscribers on YouTube, all of that. But then I realized, like, wait, now I'm in a cage of only doing one thing.
yeah,
So yeah, great success. You figured out the algorithm. Well, not figured it out, but aspects of it that work. But
yeah.
now you're stuck. Now you're stuck doing one thing forever.
Yeah, and,
You know?
and just to kind of go back a bit, just imagine this, right? Just imagine you're not, you've built yourself up enough that you're not reliant. I mean, you're kind of reliant on some systems, right? Like notifications and whatnot, but you're not
Mm.
reliant on the algorithm to push you. Your content gets word of mouth. Your content gets
Yeah.
this or that. It pushes itself out, and it doesn't need that kind of help.
Mm.
That's when you can realize that you have some leeway there. Now, of course, you could say
Mm.
you could do like people who have enough money who pay or whatever, but just imagine that you have more word of mouth than you do have an algorithm. That's where I'm trying to go for, is trying to beat that algorithm, because yes, it is difficult. It's almost nigh impossible because the systems are set up in a way that for that case. But
Mm. Yeah.
and then you can realize that you can do it. That's when you could truly be. That's when I would think that's when you could truly call yourself a content creator of maybe high esteem or whatever, because you've just showed that your name has more rap value, not rap value. It
Yeah.
has more external value than the algorithm can give it. Yeah, a
Yeah.
platform
Yeah.
can give it. Yeah, being boxed. Being boxed is a great goal, but then you start another channel and bring some of those people over. Look, you got to stop being boxed in live search. I don't know what to tell you. You may be an app, but one day you'll grow into a full-fledged company. Um, but yeah, I don't go in and I don't argue other people's of why they do the thing, even if they do try stuff
Mm.
the algorithm or clickbait or whatever. I just bring
Yeah.
up the question of, if you're creating content and you become dissatisfied or you become burnt out or whatever, the question you should always come back to, all creators should come back to this: why are you creating?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? It's a simple question even I have to ask myself sometimes, because I can too get lost in the analytics and metrics. But then I realize, okay,
Mm.
so why am I creating? I am creating because it's an opportunity of reaching across to many, many different people across many different points of the English speaking kind, because I can't speak another language, unlike yourself. You can speak a few more than I can.
Mm.
But I can at least speak to enough. There's enough English speaking people in the world that I can understand, that I can reach across. And that's millions and millions of people, right? Just imagine if one person has the ability to connect to millions and millions of people in such a
Yeah.
way that it's just this thing you didn't see or notice before, and it boggles my mind. It just boggles my
Yeah.
mind, especially with how many people I've had on so far, which is a bizarre in itself. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. I think, like at its core, what we're doing here at its core is to reach people. I think,
mm,
um, a lot of people do this because they like. I remember when I was really going through like the stages of the algorithm and all of that. I remember I found this guy because this is something that I always like doing. Like I like going into live streams, like gaming live streams and stuff like that, that where people have like 0 or 1 viewer, and I like to go comment on it and say, "Hey, man, what's up? How's it going?" Just talk to these people because that you find some really, really cool people like just live streaming. And I found this guy. He was playing Minecraft on YouTube, and he had like 1 viewer. He was so into the game. Like I think at that point he was playing like Fortnite. He was so into the game. Like he would sit there hiding in a bush, waiting for somebody to run by so he could shoot it. And he was actually whispering into his mic. He's like, "Okay, everybody, here we go." Like the characters in game could actually hear him. He was so locked into the game. And I started talking to this guy. I was like, "Man, how's it going? Like, how long have you been doing this?" And he was like, "Oh, I've been creating gaming content for 14 years." And at that point, I was like, in my mind, I was like thinking of the algorithm and all of that. I was like, "You've been doing this for 14 years and you're still streaming to 1 viewer." And I was thinking to myself, I was being very judgmental, snap judgment. I was like, then at that point, just stop. But looking back on that experience, I didn't tell him that, obviously, because that would be so rude. But I was thinking that. And I was now looking back on that, I'm thinking like, the guy loves what he does, whether he's streaming to 1,000 people or 1 person, he's having a great time. And it's clear when you watch his content. He got me sitting there watching him for a couple of hours, and I really do think once that whole thing spits you out about the algorithm and figuring that out and the numbers, once that thing spits you out, you get to be a more peaceful person because of it. You look at things different. So yeah, I mean, that's
You
my
get
2
very
cents on it.
you get very Buddhist. You're like, home. I don't think I need that
Exactly.
home.
You stop wearing pants. You start wearing sandals. Stuff like that.
Oh,
Sunscreen for no
hey,
reason on the
whoa,
nose. Yeah.
whoa, hey, whoa! I wear pants. Don't you try to throw that one on me. All right, don't you throw that one on me.
Wait, you actually wear pants, yeah?
Yeah, I wear. I also wear pants. I'm a professional. The controversial subject of today is: should we fill low viewer streams with bots that interact? Look, you can talk to many different people. Pants or prison. Well, they aren't if you're alone. They are if you're in front of other people. So you might want to reconsider that.
Yeah, if you don't wear pants, you might actually go to prison if you
Yeah,
don't do that in public.
that's true. Especially if you're in a playground, you may go to very well to prison.
Yeah, right.
But the controversial subject today is: should we fill low? No, I don't. It's sort of the same thing with like Fortnite, right? Like if you're a beginner player in Fortnite, they have bots in the game. I still
Bot
get
lobbies,
bots.
yeah.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, though, so people will throw out like the dead internet theory and all that other stuff. But at the end of the day, though, bots are going to be there regardless. But to give people bots, I mean, that's up to the company. But if they do, it's sort of a cheat out because then people won't realize either if this thing is for them or for not. If they don't know how to make a thing out of this or not, it just turns into this thing of should it be or should it not be, and we're already past the point of that. But I don't know. I just think at the end of the day, that just seems like a dumb idea because it's still like it's like a participation trophy sort of thing, right? It's like give everyone a trophy, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if I could share my opinion on this, it's like like obviously on Rumble they have the editor's picks, right? Where they will feature you on the main page or whatever. And I've been lucky enough that we've had that happen a few times to us now on Rumble, and it always pops up like you're just sitting there gaming, and the next thing you know, your viewer count starts rising,
Yep.
And with that, you're on the front page, and with that, you get people coming in going, "Oh, are these bots? Are they not bots? Are they bots?" And I kind of avoid the topic of that, and I focus on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I with my stream on Sunday morning, we got featured again. Like I got featured again, and one person came in and he was like, "How this and this and the conversation about bots and all of that," and I was just like. I just decided to clear the air and tell them how I feel about it. I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, we could sit here on stream and question, are these bots? Are they not bots? Are they bots? Maybe these are people watching without accounts. Maybe these people are watching on TV, so they can't comment or interact.
Yeah.
You know, we could do that. But I would rather focus on doing what I'm doing, because those actual real people that are watching,
Mm.
if I'm sitting there discussing whether or not they're a bot or not, you know, it's like, it's kind of making you feel like you're spending your time with me and I'm here questioning whether you're legit or not. Like,
Yeah.
it's so I'd rather just focus on the people in the chat, focus on the viewers. I just try to imagine like the 1,200 people being real people, because no doubt some of those are bots, but
Mm.
the people that are actually watching, they deserve the time and the focus of the content creator, I believe. So when you're going to sit there and debate whether or not this is legit or bots or whatever, it's irrelevant to me. I focus on the people that are there, you know, talking to them, giving them the respect, because they're spending their time with me, you know. So to me, that is irrelevant. I don't even think about that, to be honest. Like, if you focus so much on that, it's like that becomes everything. Like, are these bots? Are they real? Like, do I have real viewers? Are these only bot viewers? What am I doing? Just have fun. Just play the game. Talk to the people, like, you know, that are there, that are really watching.
There are no viewers. It's all a dream. It's all a lie. Wake up! Wake up!
The Matrix.
Well, I'd like to have 50 viewers at least there live search. Come on. But no, you're not wrong. But again, it's up to the creator. I'm not going to tell the creator how they should create or what they should create or whatever. But I am going to give my... Go ahead.
That's a good point. Like, 50,000 random viewers is not as good as 50 viewers from a raid. No, that's absolutely true. But what I'm saying is like, if I'm on the front page and we can decide, like, we can argue if it's 20%, 50%, 80%, 90% bots. We can sit there and argue about it. But the one person that comes into the chat and we really hit it off and we become friends, that's the important thing. Not how many bots there are. It's that 1, 2, 3 people that actually do come in and we start building a friendship. That is, and I agree with that. 50 viewers from a raid, those 2 viewers, 3 viewers that come in, interact, and we build a friendship, and they stop by next live stream and the next live stream. That is the important part to me.
I like to call this out. That's a lie. That is a big fat lie. That was something that you made up. You're always welcome to come on anytime if you're willing to answer your DMs, but you decide to not listen. So there. But if there are 50,000 viewers out there, much appreciated. Okay, just you know, maybe like those televangelists, like, you feel the power, come over here and just look and see. The Lord says, come over here. 50K. I need the 50K.
Right? 50K. Come on.
Philosophers can't even decide if we exist or not. Just have fun. You know what? There's a so I imagine you've heard of the show Rick and Morty, right?
Yeah.
There is a I think I need to find it first. Hold on. There was a gentleman by the name of Chitaro. There we go. Chitaro, who made a song. Where is it? Here it is. I'm not gonna play the music because I don't know. But it's basically from season 3, episode 9, and it's basically it's mashed up. If you were to listen to it, I've got to get. Hold on, I had it right. So it's basically a mashup of taking sample clips of the song, whatever. But it's basically saying, you know, if there's a line where the universe, because Rick is about that guy who's come from many multiverses and all this other stuff. But he says at one point, you know, if the universe doesn't matter, then the world is yours or something like that. I can't remember. But it's just it's just life is about what you want to put into it and what you want to get out of it to some degree. And
Absolutely.
And knowing that there are 50 of my 1,000 close friends next time. You don't have 50K friends. I know that's a lot. but if they are there, tell them that the Lord said to come over, or there will be pure retribution. There will be pure retribution on their souls. Hallelujah. I feel like that's gonna be the things like. And then he said the
Somebody clip that. Let's get this guy canceled. Holy hell, man. Let's get this
and
guy canceled.
and then he said something like, "You got to give me 10% of what you're earning right now, so I can." Jesus said, "Please walk with me, as you must follow this one person and give him all your monies." If you can't make fun of the big televangelist at times, what can you do? I mean, that's
Yeah,
just
well,
funniness,
you
right?
know what I always say. I always say, like, if you're not laughing, you're crying. So you know, people are so scared of smiling or laughing at
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
just yeah, as long as it's not
Hey,
from
can
a
you see?
bad place, like, go for it. You know, have a laugh. Have a laugh.
You've got to preach it to reach it. Amen. That's right. I said it. Amen.
Yeah, like you were preaching it just now, and they're starting to flood in. Look at that.
Hallelujah. I need 70 more.
We just hit 49,999
Woo! Praise the Lord.
more.
Oh. I want to see the money fall from the sky. If that worked and I got 50 Peter Paulus, I'd be like, holy hell, I need to be a televangelist online.
Dude, if that works, you're gonna blow up, dude. You'll have people fucking lining up to come on your show for like 5 years in advance.
He told me if I gave him $1, I'd be much richer, and I am. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Let's go. Let's go. Jesus told me, I need you guys to buy me a plane. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's too funny. The Lord said, and I need a 50. Can I get a big red one? Can I get a big red one? I'm gonna.
The Lord's watching you right now, going, "This guy's channel is getting deleted."
Send him the earthquakes and the flood, he said. But I said, Lord, not today. I need my subs. I'm just waiting for someone to show up on like Twitch and be like that. It's like, I need more. Be like the what was it, like those e-girl thoughts, whatever. Instead of the e-girl
Yeah,
thoughts,
yeah.
it's the Twitch evangelist thoughts. Like, I
I
need 5 more subs. Can you not spare another 5?
5 gifted, 5 gifted.
Hallelujah! Oh yes, come on down. Jesus said you had money, so come on.
He said 5 gifted,
Oh.
5 gifted. He said 5 gifted.
I'm here with Brother Joe Donut, and we're here to try to get a raise. Get a raise of praise. Can you say amen? Thank you.
Yo, Bubbles Boom, what's up, buddy? How's it going? This is one of
Hey.
my
Oh,
Yosuke
hello.
and Bubbles Boom. There's 2 of my squaddies right there. Thank you guys for showing up.
Oh, thank you guys so much. Uh-oh. If only many preachers weren't like that, just saying, hey, you know what? I wouldn't be able to make fun of them if they weren't. So there's that. But that means you need to give another 50 likes. I said the Lord said more likes, more.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm just I'm just gonna try to throw that out there once in a while. And he said, like, subscribe, and do the dance of praise. That'll be another 5.
Yep. So,
Oh yeah.
so here, buddy, who do you have on next, by the way?
I'll do that. I'll do that towards when we're closing out. You'll find out when
Okay.
we're closing out.
All right,
Because
perfect.
we've got some time left. But yeah, no, it's
All right,
it's
awesome.
and yeah, again, when you can have fun with stuff like this, it can
Yeah.
be hilarious and right.
Yeah,
I know. I put you off there a little bit, but it's okay. The Lord will put a 5 underneath your pillow tonight, and you'll be all right. And
All right,
you'll wake
there
up.
you go.
You'll wake up with like a check. It's like, holy crap! How do you know?
And a little note: don't cash it till next month.
There's not enough money in my chat. But no, it's when you can have fun with this stuff. Because I mean,
Yeah, of course.
at the end of the day, it's all about meeting, greeting, and having a laugh. Because I can't tell you, you don't know. Just look at what's happening in California right now. Look at all the families that are
It's terrible, man. That's
losing other
terrible. I
homes.
think. Yeah,
You,
like I've seen some of those videos, man, and like honestly, from the insides of homes, like just everything like orange from, and that must be so terrifying. Like that is
Yep.
insane. That is
Mhm.
insane. Like, I get like just anxiety just looking at those videos and thinking those people, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no, it's true. It's true. Like that's what I'm saying. If you're not laughing, chances are you'll be crying. So.
or surrounded by
And
fire, which is not any better. Goodness.
yeah, I mean, like the world is is, I think you said it earlier. You said it in a very good way. Like, it is what you make it. It's what you decide to put into it. Like, um, it's the same thing with like the bot question and all of that. It's like, if you look at it, you always enter a situation and you have two ways of going about it. Three ways. Let's say three ways. The first way is you could just ignore it. Don't make too much of it. The second way is you can see all the bad things about it. And then the third way is you can just have fun with it. You can just have fun with it. And that's the thing, like with Rumble as well, where I feel like a lot of people, like, like there are a lot of frustrations or whatever, but it is a growing platform. It's a young platform. It's a new platform. You get a lot of people that are so frustrated because they see all the problems. And it's like that.
Comparisons.
Comparisons. Like, it's that analogy where it's like the math teacher that stands in front of the board. He writes 10 math questions. So 1 to 9 correct math solutions, no problem. The 10th one, he makes a mistake, and the class puts their hand up. All of their hands go up, and they go, "You did the last one. Number 10 is not correct." And he goes, "Well, this is the problem with society. It's like, you didn't compliment me on the first 9 that had no problems. You only saw the problem." And that's the thing. Like, I'm not saying we should ignore these problems. Like, but we shouldn't just focus on these problems. Let's look at the good things that they're doing. And for a growing platform, that's it's one of those things. We need to just have fun with it and enjoy the products. Like, we look at all the things that they've done, like the mobile app. They've done so many updates on that. The gifted subs, that's a new thing that they have on now. They brought in Dr. Disrespect, and now they're focusing on the music side of Rumble.
Well, they're trying to. They've started.
Let's compliment them on that. Let's enjoy that. Let's appreciate that. Instead of just trying to focus on all the bad stuff. I'm not saying we should ignore the bad stuff, but if you make that 100% of your focus, and you actually have live streams where you just sit and complain about all of these things, then that's your decision to spend your time looking at those things. We would be foolish to think that they're not aware of these things and they're not working on these things. We just need to give them some time. They've proven to us that they work on stuff. So if you decide to be negative about all of these things and just focus on those things, and it's the same thing with everything in life. If you just walk in and you decide to be negative about everything, look for all the problems, then that's your experience. That's the experience you're gonna have. Just have fun with stuff. Like,
I'm angry. I went to a donut store and didn't get a jelly-filled donut, even though I ordered a cake one. See, that's how life works sometimes.
Who said that?
What? No, I said that. No.
Oh.
It's not in the chat. It's not. There's no one saying they went to a donut store. No, I was saying that.
I was just thinking, is somebody taking a swipe at Joe Donuts here?
Yeah, you see that Joe Donuts guy? He's a little too filled with what's a good one? He's too filled with custard. He's too filled with custard.
Oh yeah, damn right I am.
Yeah.
Trying to get rid of this right now. Actually, I'm trying to be less custardful, to be honest.
Yeah, because that's where you. So I had an idea once, like, if you really want people to run, right? You don't want them to have a run. Just get one of those police dogs and just have them chase you. You either die from a heart attack or you'll run.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's like, or just randomly walk in and yell fire, and then everybody will run for a little bit and then realize, but you're just an a-hole for shouting fire when there's no fire.
What you do is you wait for a scene in the movie where there's fire, and you're just like, oh look, there's a fire, and then you just like go
right
on screen.
Yeah, and everybody's already halfway to the door.
Well, where's everyone leaving? It's on screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Sir, you yelled fire in a theater. I said there's a fire on screen. There's no one listening anymore.
Blame the director of the movie. I was so involved and so captured by the movie.
I was so passionate about the fire on screen. I was like, look, there's a fire on screen. And then people just ran. I was like, I don't know what's going on. But anyway, it is getting to the top of Power Hour again. So we're going to start heading down. Hey, there he is. There's UB Legend right there. I've had him on before, too. Legend, awesome. You're the one who has Legend in her name. You're the one who's got Legend in her name. There can't be two legends. Yes, there can. Just look at me. But anyway, it is getting close to the top of the time again. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the same stuff before, and we'll do a few things after that. Oh, thank you. Well, thank you for Bubble for stopping by. I appreciate it. Oh, hey, have fun with the exams because those are hitch of a witch. Hitch of a witch. But anyway, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do it before we're gonna promote ourselves, and then we're gonna go on to one or a few other things, and then we'll close that stream. So the
Okay.
floor is yours, good sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dara. Awesome to be here. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you to everybody watching this in the chat, whether it's on Rumble side or YouTube side. I appreciate you guys, man. You guys are awesome. The chat's been amazing, amazing. I've been keeping an eye on the chat here on my second monitor, and a lot of good points you guys are making here. Amazing community you have here, Dara. Well done. Yeah, guys, it's just not gonna do this for too long. It always feels weird doing this, but we stream games on my channel, Joe Donuts Gaming. I'm very big. I don't multi-stream. I just stream on Rumble, and I'm very, very, very big on community and reading chat. I feel like that's the most important part of streaming. I love to make new friends. We love to talk to new people. And we love to have fun. We push the positive vibes as much as we can. We get annoyed, we get angry, but we try to put a nice, funny spin to it. We love making people laugh.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to come hang out with us, we stream every Sunday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern time. We stream Monday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern time, and Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We play different games. We have fun. You're all welcome. I promise if you're one of Mr. Dara's community members here, if you do decide to stop by, we'll take good care of you. I promise you that, yeah.
So he's saying he's going to buy you ice cream. Just be careful what you get.
Hold on.
I
Yeah,
asked,
as soon as they log onto my stream, I'm like, why are you guys not donating money? Why are you not giving me gifted? What's wrong with you guys?
Then you do the hair toss like,
Yeah.
Where's my money at? Where's my money at? And then
Yeah.
and he says, Legend has that Alexander Day poisoned food by choking to death, so he likely turned purple or brief more. He was known as Alexander the Great.
That's funny.
I like Moose Tracks more, but I do like Rocky Road. It's just I haven't had it. I usually try to eat. I've eaten frozen custard more often, but anyway, for my end of things, again, whether you're on the Rumble side or whether you're on the YouTube side, there is the YouTube side. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like, sharing the content, leaving a comment or a follow. Any or all of it is much appreciated, guys, because not only does it help in being seen more, like all creators want to be, but it also helps in bringing people on as guests, like a UB Legend, Knizi, who was just recent, and so many other people like that. Whether you're a creator or not, it doesn't matter. It just matters if you're willing to take up the opportunity and have a conversation, like you just saw us do for the past 2 hours. Because, dear Lord, I'm going to be like, what the hell? What are we talking about? My gosh, it was like all over the place. I thought it was preachy at one point, and then I was like, give me the subs.
You're gonna
like
snap
that.
out of it and go like, was I preaching there?
but anyhow with the engagement factor is much appreciated, whether you're on Rumble or whether you're on YouTube. And also, if you want to see where else I'm at on both ends, I have a link. Go down there. You'll see where else I'm at. If you'd like to take up the opportunity to come on, guess what? Either leave a comment on either end or look up the link description and find out where else I'm at, because I'll tell you what, I have on over 130 different guests, and there's more coming. There's more coming.
Buddy.
So that, and it's always tough every month because I'm like, okay, who's gonna fill this spot? Who's gonna? I'm just like, oh
Yeah.
Lord. So, but anyway, guys, thank you so much, and don't forget engagement factor and link down below. I appreciate you all, and of course, I'm not eating pizza after a blow. Jeez. I bought 90 so highly respectable. I bought 95 of them. Good Lord. Oh, all right. Well, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, I will have on returning guest Abe. I've had on Abe before. He's from the UK, so he'll be 5 hours ahead. But the dude is sort of like a weird Frankenstein himself. He almost never sleeps. And I've got to see his face before. He's not shown publicly, but I have seen his face before. He's a cool dude. Got to talk to him for quite a long time, so I'm glad to have him back on again. That'll be tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. So if you kids forget what the time is, there will be a link out for that sometime tonight. So don't worry. And was it Little Caesars, Chuck E. Cheese? Chuck E. Cheese is better. Little Caesars tastes like cardboard. But anyway, we come to the last bit of the show, and I know some of you are rumbling for it, but if any of you know, the last part I do is called Questions from Hat. And so what it is about a rumble hat, and I put some questions inside. So here's how it goes. My guess, you, Joe Donut, get 2 free questions. That's right, 2 freebies. I thought about adding one more because 3 is a magic number. I'm like, no. But anyway, but anyway, so what happens is that you get 2 freebie questions, and unfortunately, YouTube side not monetized, so no super chats from you. But if you're on the Rumble side, and if you want more than the 2 questions put on the hat, guess what? You have the opportunity to pay with the rant. And it doesn't matter the amount. I don't care. You just have to give a rant for more than 2. So here we go for the first question. Yeah, here we go for the first question. It's how I pay my mortgage bills. Okay, kids.
Gotcha.
But anyway, I'm going in for the first question. I am not looking at it. I thought I dropped something. That's why I looked. I'm not looking at it. So let's see what we can pull out of the hat today. Here we go. Here's question number 1. And it says, what is your favorite word to say?
Wow. My favorite. Oh, I'm going through a few favorite words. Like I change it up, but right now it's definitely like I think my favorite word is foosty. Foosty.
What's that?
It's like slang. I believe it's big in Scotland. It's slang. Like it means anything that is like it's hard to explain. Like I would go, my cats are being foosty. It's like when they're acting a certain way that is undesirable. Yeah. If you would look at a piece of pizza that's been under the sofa for 2 weeks, then you go, that is a foosty piece of pizza right there. Foosty.
Foosty. Almost sounds like, oh my. Joe needs more than 2 questions. Look at that. So we've gotten 4 so far. So ladies and gentlemen, how about that?
That's awesome, man. Well done, community.
There you go. There's one for that. Kinizzy, and of course I gotta make one for Big Black because he is a big block of joy or whatever they call them down south. Because that's what those colored papers are. Those are all the rants. That is what. Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. That's so unique.
Well, I kind of borrowed the idea from someone else, but not to the extent that they did it. So
okay.
Because gotcha. I don't write down the gift subs. But all right, there you go, Big Block. Look at that. Look, your name's right there.
Awesome, man.
But anyway, so the next one I pulled out was this one, and we'll see what it is. But so we got 2 more. We got 2 more we got to do. So this is number 2. This says, what sound noise do you hate?
What sound or noise do I hate? Oh my God, that is an amazing question, and I have the answer for you right out of the barrel of the gun. I don't even have to think about it. The sound of people chewing or eating. That drives me insane. Like if I'm sitting next to somebody and they're eating and they just have a slightly open mouth chew there, or I hear it is my Achilles heel. I would absolutely jump off of the balcony if I hear somebody eating.
Oh,
God bless my wife again. And she pointed out many times that I'm not the quietest eater ever. So she's like, how could you be mad at people if you do the same thing? But the sound of chewing or eating just drives me insane.
You have those people that do the ASMR, right? Like,
oh, dude. Oh, honestly, that is like whenever I see a video like that, I want to throw my phone away. Like,
you're just like
you made me want to stand up there for a second. I was like,
someone's got to stop that man. He's mad. I tell you, he's mad. No, yeah, that's just like, and then they do like they have those one with like the ears in them. And it's just like, oh Lord, oh
man.
I feel the earthquake. All right, so we're going for question number 3. We got 2 more to do after this. Let us see what this is.
Let's go. Man, I love this segment. I really love it.
Here's question number 3. and it says, "Are you a morning person or a midnight owl?"
Dude, these questions are amazing, man. These questions are great.
Just
So
wait,
here we
just
go.
wait, just wait till we get to the ones you can't answer.
um, yo, Yosuke with another round right there. Well done. Okay, so this is the thing. I am a morning person. I absolutely am. But like that period between 6:30 and 7, that waking up period is the worst period. But as soon as I'm awake, I love the mornings. Like there's so much to do.
Yeah.
And the prospect of so many hours in the day, just there's something about that that just kicks me into hyperdrive. It's like that period between 6:30 and 7. It's like you know that the Batman movie with Bane, Tom Hardy as Bane, right? What's it, Batman?
I
Where
think it's
he's in
the Dark Knight Rises or something like that. I can't
something like
remember.
that, where he's in the pit and he's trying to climb out. That's me between 6:30 and 7 a.m. And my cats are surrounding me on the bed and they're like, hey, hey, ha, ha, hey, hey. And I'm trying to wake up, hitting the snooze button, and then I just get rid of the rope around my waist and I cancel the alarm. And I'm like, now I either wake up or I don't. But then when I'm awake, it's awesome, man. I'm a morning person for sure. For sure. When I was younger, a teen, I used to stay awake all night, sleep all day. But yeah, nowadays when being older, mornings are amazing.
So you too like the sunrise.
Oh, that's amazing. Well done.
That's
Wow.
right. I can do it too. It's pretty easy to be honest. But here's question number 4, and it says, "What word makes you laugh every time you say it?"
Oh, that's a difficult one.
Oh, see, I told you.
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting question. Like, I've never really thought about that, but a word that makes me laugh every time. Uh, this is it. Yeah, it's not so much the word, but it's the way my wife says it
Uh-huh.
when she calls me a bitch. Sorry for the bad language. Sorry, sorry for the bad language. Because
You're fine.
she throws it in at the most comical times. Like we would just have a conversation, and she's like, Could you do that, bitch?" Like, what did you call me? It's just funny. It's funny
Oh my goodness.
the way she says
Say what to me now?
it.
All right, question number 5. Unless someone gives another rant. Thank you for all that, ladies and gentlemen. This is this is the opposite. What is your least favorite word to say?
Okay, I'm gonna keep this family friendly. I'm gonna keep it clean. My least moist.
More that
Moist. I hate that word, dude. Moist.
that's as family friendly as you can get. I don't know what more you want from that.
No, I know it's family friendly, but just the word annoys me. Sorry, I broke my microphone. It's like being all floppy right now.
It's at least it's not moist.
At least it's a moist. Thank God for that. Yeah, I don't know why. It's like moist. That word just annoys me. Moist. Like when
Moist?
somebody goes, "Well, this is very moist." I go, "You're fired. You don't even work for me, but you're fired."
You know, my palms aren't sweaty, they're moist.
Oh. Oh man, it's like moisturizer. That's okay. For some reason, moisturizer is fine, but moist on its own, it's like, how dare you? How dare you bring that word?
when you
Why?
when you reveal your chink in the armor like that, oh, it's gonna be exploited like. We'll replace moist with swampy. Ew, ew, ew.
Oh,
Oh, no. Back. There we go. You just gotta refresh. You just gotta refresh your screen. You'll be fine. Moisturizer. Oh my gosh. So it seems around maybe the 2 10 minute mark. Hey Joe, if you can oh no, I just dropped.
oh, sorry, my connection was being moist.
Yeah.
That word is horrendous. Yeah, Nero, you get me, dude.
Swampy is a terrible. It's only terrible when you use it incorrectly. You could say swampy as sort of like when you're doing bass, like you do on the swampy bass. Boom, 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 boom. All that stuff.
I've heard someone else that hated the word moist before. Yeah, it's a terrible word in my opinion. Terrible.
Terrible. It's so terrible. At least it's not moist.
It's
But anyway,
so
guys.
inappropriate.
Yeah. Oh, when you use it inappropriately. But anyway, guys, that is the end of the oh, hey, Steve. Steve, come on, man. You're at the end of the show. What? Hold on. We got it. Now Steve is here. Now we got to get him through the okay. So we were talking about dogs and puppies and kittens. And then we went to accents. And then we did all this stuff. Look, you're going to have to watch the replay, Steve. I'm sorry. You came at the wrong time.
Yes. There's a lot of random stuff in here.
You know what they say about the man who comes in late? He just never comes. But anyway, allow it hit to word boy. Somebody's gonna get me fired from that one. I lived in the South and we say swampy. True, it's true. It's true. You'd say swampy for days like that. But anyway, yes, it is the end of the show. Thank you all for being here, and of course, thank you to my guest Joe Donut. Or I almost said donuts at once. Like he doesn't have any donuts with him. What is this?
Yeah,
but
absolutely, man. I've had a blast. Thank you so much, Dara, for this opportunity. It's been a treat, dude. It's been a treat. I hope I could get on here again in the future.
Oh yeah, you're always welcome to come back. I've always got. I have another show called Dara's Hangout Den, which is where I bring former guests of Darachat together, and I always bring people back. And also I'm trying to do something called Rumble Squared, where it's me trying to collect data on the ground floor level of wants, needs, and all issues, and all that stuff that people have, and trying to put it in a format that not only will be part for the tech people to understand and maybe help in the process of focusing on what they need to, but also having people who don't understand tech well to have that portion too. So that's once a month. Same with Dara's Hangout Den. But Darachat is mostly almost every day, but I do try to stay away from the weekends because I have a full-time job. So but anyway, yeah, but thank you guys. Yeah, and thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all. Though again, don't forget, like, comment, share, follow, whatever it is that helps with the stuff on either end is much appreciated, because I tell you what, I may not be the most watched or whatever, but I will tell you this: I do appreciate you all. So of course, I end the show with like you're saying before, with the thing at the intro. All that stuff is except for one. All of it is done by Pogo, which you can find a link down below in the description. You can go to his channel. You can find all the stuff that I use, and you can listen to your sweetheart's content. But we are going to go out with, as always, with One Day With You by Pogo. And don't forget to mute your mic so it doesn't bleed into the music.
Just before we go, I just want to say thank you to all of the viewers here. You guys have been amazing. Thank you. For all the love, for all the chats, for all the laugh. You guys are amazing. Thank you, Dara. Thank you, chat.
You're welcome. And as the Japanese would say, sayonara. Oh, I'm sorry, I did American. That was I got apologize. I got to do that. Sayonara. Bye, guys.
There you go.
we go.